cleaned, and they found cat hair in there. And it turns out her cat sleeps on her face at night and just is in her mouth so deeply that in between her molars she has cat hair.
And that's how we're starting. All right.
That's
why you don't let the cat sleep on your face. They really want to, but you don't let them do it.
ew.
Anyway, so last time on Edge of the Empire, you guys got hired to take care of some Nexu that were ambushing cargo convoys for a Moncal. This Moncal said, hey, they're probably mostly just regular, Nexu. No big deal, nothing to worry about. I don't know which one of you grabbed the data pad. They left. There it is. Rural Jossix. He hired you to take care of him, and you encountered some very cybernetic, very enhanced Nexu that had killed the previous person that he had sent to take care of this problem. And this person's last will and testament said, hey, basically go tell this woman that I love her and then go kick this guy in the nuts. And that was the end of the last episode. You guys had a nice little hunt in what is now known as Nexu Fields, the Nexu Fields. You're at this crash site. You've decided to set up camp. There's this shutdown droid here. And as night falls and you guys are here, I'd like to know what you guys want to do tonight. Some of you are injured.
I want to see if we can harvest any of the cybernetic parts from the Nexus.
Okay. We're gonna
see if I can get some healing.
That's also a very good idea. Has Dane joined us? He has not. So,
Gar would look at God damn it. David, what's your character's name?
Argon.
Gar would look at Argon and be like, just walk it off, man.
So,
I gotta turn him up now. He's so quiet now. Well, that's because I had him really low.
Yeah, you had him turned down because of the issues last time.
Yeah.
So I had tried to tell Raccoon to make Dane the medic. But I don't know that he did. And I don't know that he's going to join us. So we'll see how that all goes. So you want to harvest Nexu cybernetic parts, huh?
Oh man, that would be great. I know a little bit about droids.
They had awesome claws.
Okay.
I have claws, so I could have awesome claws.
I mean, if you want to replace your fingers, definitely do that.
I don't know that I've ever shown any aversion to things like that.
Yes, but I'm assuming that one day one of your characters would, because it is a role-playing game.
You know what assuming does?
Uh-huh.
Makes an ass out of you and Ming.
So, Ghost, basically, we're here at this crash site. You remember the end of the last episode. There's just shut down protocol droid, night's falling, and you guys have decided to make camp. And I just wanted to know what everyone was going to do for the evening making camp. I know some of you are injured and need medical assistance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I tried to tell him to walk it off, but he's really being whiny.
This ain't a sprained ankle, man. I ain't gonna, or a twisted hammy.
I would never tell you to walk off a sprained ankle. That's a terrible idea.
No, fair enough.
Yeah, walk off sprained ankles. You have to put your foot up with some cold ice and rest. Those are just gunshot wounds.
No, you gotta, yeah.
For the night, you mind if I just dope you up there, mate, and then you might be able to have a fitful night, but you'll make it through.
When you say
dope, hospital tomorrow.
When you say dope him up, I hand him some what is that shit? That moonshine we've been
scavenger grog. No,
yeah,
worse.
I hand you some grog.
Yeah, so when we
This'll
were in the
take the edge off.
caves, we did the thing where you put your head on the cat, and then I do like field surgery on you, and
Yeah, it's true.
it's pretty helpful. So let's go get that cat. Let me do some surgery on him, and then we'll try to make this cat. We'll cut it open and see what stuff is inside it.
It sounds like I need to get some grog for that too while you're playing with that kind of crap. So
All right, guy, help me out with this Nexu. Is this one of the ones with the cybernetic? Like,
I've already
claws?
started cutting. I've already started cutting into it. I'm trying to get the cybernetic claws off.
Okay.
All right. The rest of it we'll use as a pillow. We'll put Argon's head on it.
Yeah. I've got a mound of gore we can use as a pillow. I've been carefully removing it and putting it on the side here.
Did you
Just put his head right there. It's very soft.
did you
people
fish?
don't want that.
Did you fish that one out of the lake?
It was the nearest one, I think.
No, I mean Gar would have jumped into the lake to pull that one out.
yeah, now it kind of smells like wet dog.
Okay, so they're gonna have different levels of cybernetic enhancements. First thing I need to do is have you roll a d6. Gar, I'm assuming is the one trying to pry the cybernetic parts out.
Yeah, I'm assisting with the medical roll.
Okay.
I understand that if I assist with that, it's more likely to kill him.
Okay. There's a d6 over here by the counters. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, so you are specifically interested in the claws, correct?
Yeah, claws and muscle enhancers.
Okay.
Probably claws over that. Yeah.
Okay. So you skin it down to the skeleton. There's a lot of microchips and stuff, and I'm assuming you just cut around said microchips. So now you come down to basically having the components needed for making some sort of glove out of the bits you've got. Ooh, I'm not prepared for this. It's going to be it's going to be a mechanical check to try to take these cybernetics and make them into something you can wear. Or you can put all of these cybernetics in a bag and go try to find someone more qualified than you.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
That one.
I could probably build something if you just wait a minute.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were a mechanic.
I mean, I'm pretty good. Like, I built these drones that are flying around us right now. You distracted me a little bit, and I think I cut this. He's got a bandage on him, and he should feel a little bit better. But I didn't help that medical check at all.
All right, well, you help with the mechanics, and I'll do the medical shit then.
No. I rolled.
While you guys
poorly.
are arguing with this, Gar just walks over and jabs a stim pack into Greybeard. It's like I told you, just walk it off.
Okay, that's 5 HP back for Greybeard.
And 3 stress.
And 3 stress. From the looks of it, that'll completely heal him.
I very quietly towards the end of the last session.
I thought he was wounded.
Back at him. Yeah, he was.
But he's down to 2. He's going down to 2 wounds. So that stim pack was kind of overkill. But the strain, he had lots of that. So he gets rid of how much of that?
3.
So Greybeard, you need to update your tickers here.
We're going down on which one?
Well, your health, you recovered 5 and you only have 2, so you can take that to 0. Remember, you count up in this system. So yeah, you take it down to 0, and then you got 3 strain back, so you can take that down to 4.
Yeah, and we're gonna cook up this Nexu. We're gonna mix that with some booze and have a nice relaxing night. Hopefully, you get a little bit more stress back from that.
There you go.
We call that scavenger barbecue.
Yeah. Oh man, look at these little things. You think you said you want a glove out of these Nexu claws? Oh, here's a servo. That's pretty cool. I bet you I could put that together.
So would you rather have the stun or the slash ability?
So does it? I was looking for something that would enhance the claws I have because currently they suck. So is this better than that? Or equal to?
It's better, but if you want both, so currently the claws do two things. They add a pierce value because they basically its claws are coated in metal. It's coated in durasteel. It's not a special metal; it's just metal. But they are also electrified. If you concentrate on just one of them, it's something you could probably do here in the field without too much difficulty. If you want to try to get both of them, you could still try to do that, but it's a more difficult check. And I'm not necessarily going to tell you if you pass or fail it until you try to use them.
I want both.
I know you.
Just gamble it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your mechanics check.
Just blank.
Yes, I'm going to roll your opposition.
Is anybody assisting me? I assume he's sitting very still.
Yeah, I'll assist.
Well, it's you're making a glove, not a. You're not modifying him. It's not medical.
I'm not like actively welding.
Yeah, you're not actively welding bits to him. You're making a glove that fits around his claws.
I still need his hand. Like I'm measuring it every now and then, looking back at his hand, going, "Oh man, this is gonna be pretty sweet." And I can have the battery pack right here. And oh man, the metal is really strong. Man, this is gonna be real good.
Hey, question.
This is gonna be real good.
If I use my unluck on,
I don't think you need to.
Roll, okay.
Yeah, I don't think you need to. So, this glove, and I'm asking Kizik because Kizik is the one who's making it, is automatically going to have pierce, and it's going to have the option to have a stun setting. Okay? It may have one other special ability that is not something like superior. For example, it can have I was thinking like it could have like knockdown, or it can have what's the one? I'm trying to remember what the name of the one that I'm looking for is. Fuck. Brain fart. Sorry, guys.
You looking for disorient?
No, but that's a good one.
Oh no! I got it.
The one to make sure your critical's better. Vicious. Thank you. My God, that was really bothering me. Yes, it can have like vicious, or it can have knockback, or it can have disorient, or it can have maybe even ensnare. Like if you get your fish hooks literally into someone, they're not going to want to move.
Can I put a poison reservoir in it?
Yeah, you rolled a triumph. I'll let you do that, but he's going to have to find poison to put in it, and it will be expended each time it's used.
Now they're hypodermic claws.
Yeah, pretty much. Like it just he can put little hypodermic needles in. Like we'll say it comes out in between the fingers.
Yeah. I'm still terrified of spiders, and I like have that vision of a spider biting me, and go, "Oh man, you know what these things need? It's like spider poison. Like that would be great." And then I hand it to him, and I'm like, "Hey, so if you put your thumb right here, these little needles come out, and if you have poison in there, it's gonna hurt somebody. It's gonna be pretty sweet."
I want to say, as he says that, I thumb it, and it stabs him.
I can't spell gauntlet.
Gauntlet.
G-N-T in
Gauntlet.
I'll just let you fix it. Here I can't spell anything. Why can't I spell anything?
Let us on a stroke.
Why do you guys keep telling me I'm having a stroke?
Are you having a stroke?
Didn't your face like stop moving on half the side?
We're concerned, that's all.
Just good friends. What's that smell? I smell buttered toast.
You guys are fucking terrible. All
I
right.
think it's burnt toast, not buttered toast.
Oh, you guys don't have the best.
All right. Very badly written. Go correct all that so you know what it means.
I think someone's at my door. Hold on.
Take back. All right. You guys are having all sorts of fun. Making scavenger grog. Sorry, you're making scavenger barbecue, drinking scavenger grog, making special bits and pieces. Everyone around the campfire having a jolly old time. Can you give me a 2 purple perception check? You're going to be here all night. Oh, there's an illegal bottle of Zerona Ale in this in this car. You guys would probably find that. Everyone knows the best thing to do with that kind of illegal booze is drink it.
No, you gotta chill it down first.
Yeah, I guess we could probably chill it down on the pond over here. I had 2 purple perceptions.
Did anyone pass?
I don't think anybody's rolled it yet.
Perception, I haven't rolled yet.
Hookers is talking about that illegal bottle of booze and the different things he wants to do with it. Telling stories.
Best.
Dan,
Talking about how awesome his new gauntlet that he made is.
Dan was able to put out all the riffraff that Hooks is talking about and saw something.
Okay. So, assuming you guys wandered over to that speeder, crashing on the side of this hill, there's claw marks through the hull. It's not really salvageable. But one of you would notice that there's like a slightly ajar piece of the rock wall that obviously isn't wall or rock.
Well, I'm gonna go investigate that. Is a hole behind here?
He fell into the vehicle, never to be seen again. Fell into the corpse, never to be seen again. What are you doing to that corpse, Crikey?
I was inside of him.
Oh! There's multiple people in there now. They're all getting into the corpse. Okay.
On in on this?
Where do you think that scavenger barbecue comes from?
Alright, so I check out the hole.
Okay, so it's made of metal, and as you push it in, there's a long lift shaft that goes down. It's basically a deep, dark hole, and it goes for as far as the eye can see.
Huh. Guys, you think this is maybe an exhaust of some sort?
Is there a cable that goes down there?
Has it got a lot of air coming out?
So there's no cable. There is air. There are. Did anyone roll any advantage on their perception check?
I had 1 advantage. I don't know if that's enough.
Okay, there are tracks. Since it was specific, I'm assuming the cable question is it an elevator? In the Star Wars universe, turbolifts use tracks, and there are tracks that would imply that it is a turbolift.
Right.
That would mean that if it comes all the way up to here, there's either an entrance on this hill or really close to here. I shine my light around?
The light does not actually reach far enough to go to the bottom of the shaft, but you can see around the around
Yeah,
the outside.
where we're at. I'm trying to see if there's a door here, or are we standing in the door?
What about it?
So there's a couple things you could do here. You are standing in a door of some variety. You're not sure if it's the door, but it was obviously meant to open, and the speeder hitting it caused it to jar open.
So is there like a mechanism for calling the elevator, or I don't know what else to call it, a turbolift?
Turbo lift is the correct terminology, and you can definitely look for one. This one's going to be a little bit harder of a check. Actually, no, I shouldn't do that, because if you pass, there isn't one here that you can see. There could be something else, though. Go ahead and roll a 1 red perception check, because you're specifically looking for a method to open the door.
Can I move the speeder away from the wall?
Sure. How would you like to accomplish that task?
Well, first I'm going to Wookiee it and just walk up behind it and try to pull it towards me. And if that doesn't work...
Give me a brawn check of some variety. If you have points in athletics, I'll take it. It's, for you, probably going to be a 1 red, 1 purple check.
Okay.
I was pretty successful.
Okay. Did you triumph?
Yeah.
Excellent. Did you...
And succeed. I triumphed and succeeded.
Yes, that was my next question.
And there was no despair.
Awesome.
And succeeded, and there was no despair.
Oh, thank God. Let's triumph and despair. So you figure out how to open the door, and then you fall in the hole. Actually, that's a pretty good one. So you find a receiver that's for a comm frequency, and since you triumphed, someone has scribbled on the side the frequency you need to open the door.
Right on.
Because people really do that.
Yeah, I know. It's like a sticky note with your password taped to the top of the computer.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll tell you the number of times I successfully logged into something.
I'll take a strain, but I successfully move it.
Okay, I'm unlocking it. Go ahead and move it.
Hey, Dane, remember when we made that block and tackle thing to move? Oh my goodness, he's moving it by himself! What?
Oh, the elevator.
Okay. You hear a grinding noise from the bottom of the shaft, and almost a full minute later, a lift platform almost big enough to get that speeder on appears, and the other side of the door opens, and this whole section here opens.
I go in.
No, it's late at night, man. We gotta relax and have a night first.
I want some of this Nexi soup that I'm making.
Yeah,
Oh,
also
man,
I found a droid over here. He's
We
shut
found
down.
something awesome. Let's see what's down there.
Right, I mean, some of us have criticals, mate. Right?
I just told Argon to walk it off. What am I supposed to tell you now?
I mean,
walk it off.
I don't have a critical. I was just saying if you did.
I don't think I do.
Alright, I'm just making sure, mate. I don't want you to die.
I think this critical was for one of the Nexu. Because it's not sitting on one of your trays, so my assumption is that this was for one of the Nexu. I don't remember who specifically got that one.
That makes sense, though.
I sniped the big one, the one on the top of the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so I mean, you're not hungry or anything? You don't want to eat this stew?
I mean, I'm gonna eat the stew, but like stew only gets better the longer it cooks anyway, and that has not been cooking long. You really don't want to go down and explore the elevator with unknown wonders in there? This could be it. We could be rich.
Dude, I guarantee. Hold on.
Huh?
I want to look around. Is there any, like, what was it? ICOR 4?
ICOR?
ICOR 4.
ICOR 4. Is there, like, any of that symbolism out there?
Only all over the door and the inside of the elevator.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you want to go down here where there's, like, gonna be some crazy animals.
I was hoping you wouldn't realize that.
Yeah, so,
Before we went down there. Like, dude, this could be the big one.
I think that Rancor out there is the big one, mate.
Right, but what if there's, like, a better one down here?
Mate, there's nothing down there, but
These ICOR guys really know how to make some awesome things.
They are fucking around with nature, mate. It's not right.
I figured.
Right, no one should ever fuck around with nature, and all those abominations should be put down.
All right, you talk me into it, mate. Let's get at me.
Just
We're
take
gonna
it.
kill all these abominations.
Can I turn on this robot first?
Yeah. He might warn us not to go down there.
Or he could have told us about the secret hidden entrance there. Also, I'd like to take a nap before we go down there. Like, that's first thing in the morning. We're going into the dark, scary hole with spiders, because I know there's going to be spiders down there.
All right, fine. I'm gonna see if I can harvest some venom for the next spines.
Okay. They don't actually have venom, but they do have a little electric prod things.
I thought Nexu had some kind of venom.
They normally would.
These ones. Okay,
Yeah.
these ones.
Yes. They've been replaced with Durasteel talons and spikes that are electrified.
Can we turn them into data spikes?
No, that's not how that works.
Worth a question.
it's worth asking.
Electrified darts.
You can load them into your net gun and use them as spike throwers. So who's sleeping in what shifts and who's messing with the droid?
I like the droid, and he's pretty cool looking. I'm gonna check him out. I think Gar's gonna take the first watch up because he's super pumped, and then Crikey will take the next watch, and then we'll be good.
Okay, so who is the right before dawn watch? You said Crikey was the last watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
The part of me that as soon as they go to sleep, I just want to go down the hallway.
You won't have to worry about that. So,
I'm not gonna do that.
Crikey, give me a 1 purple perception roll. Since you're the last one, right? You're the one that gets up to see the sunrise.
H's best TV station.
So, you hear a noise from the elevator, and you realize that the elevator has gone back down.
I wake up the party.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes. How do you wake up the party in 2 minutes? Or do you select individuals?
I start with Hookroo's. Wake him up. Hi, mate. The turbo lift got called. We gotta wake up the rest of the party. You go wake people up, and then I'll go over to Gar, and I'll slap him awake. Guy, the turbo lift. There's somebody coming up.
Okay. With that approach, you are able to get the entire party roused as the elevator parts, and 3 droids disembark. The 1 droid is almost as big as a speeder. Sorry, I'm having trouble because they're trying to grab them all at the same time. I really only want to adjust this one. Here, I'm just going to move this. At his stuff anyway. Alright, now where did my things go? So, these droids are not, like, unknown to the hunters in the party. I'm going to make a copy of each of them and put their cards over here, because these are things that have been around enough that I feel like Gar and Crikey would be familiar with their purpose. So, they're designed to work together. And basically, the point of these is that the little guys go out and stun wildlife, and the big guy, he grabs things and puts it in his main chassis in these cryogenic containers. It's designed for hunting wildlife. And as it comes out of the lift, the main unit, the Scout Collector droid, scans the party with like a visible blue scanning beam. You guys have a chance to react if you want. Someone jumped into the car.
I kind of like the scene where Crikey stands right in front of this thing and gets scanned. Does a green light or a red light show up on it?
The light doesn't change color. You don't speak binary, so you can't tell exactly what it's saying, but you probably understand enough of it to know that it's a negative. Like it's you're not you're not the droid it's looking for. And it's gonna start to move through the camp, as are the spiders. They're gonna briefly encircle what's left of the Nexu and do another scan, but then determine it's not what it's looking for, and then kind of float out here unless you guys interfere with it, and start to wander off into the Nexu fields.
When they're scanning the Nexu, I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna say, don't those things have like some security beacons or something like that we could use to get into this thing?
You want me to like take it apart? I'm trying to hush real quiet, even though I know it's not like actively talking to us. Anything, other things just going out. Like we could open and close that elevator.
Yeah, I have the code to open the doors and call the elevator.
Yeah, he wants like the next set of things. He wants to see if they've got a code. Oh yeah, you gotta shoot that thing precisely. But I see what you're going for.
We can let it go if you want. Just an idea. Alright,
Yeah, we
let
watch it go.
We're gonna go down the turbo lift.
Okay. So you guys are gonna immediately go down the turbo lift? You're gonna have breakfast, or you waited this long?
Open that the droid up. He's still standing there. I was too sleepy last night.
So he needs some repairs. Do you have any spare parts handy?
No, I don't want to scavenge my droids.
Okay, what?
Can I scavenge the car, the speeder?
I was going to suggest that. Go ahead and give me a 2 purple mechanics check to scavenge from the speeder. And if you pass, then you'll have enough parts to fix the droid. Yeah, so you don't really have the parts to fix the droid. Which means you can't bring him operational, but if you wanted to try to download his memory banks to the datapad, you can give me a 2 red computers check.
We should have taken those droids out. I bet you they had a bunch of parts. This is a car. It doesn't have the same droid parts. Oh, guys, I got a great idea. I'm going to take its memory and put it into this datapad. Right? That's a great idea.
I mean, if you want to.
Oh, it shocked me.
So you look down at your datapad, and its memory is so much more than all of the memory on the datapad that you're looking at the Star Wars equivalent of your blue screen of death.
Anybody else got another datapad? This one broke.
I'm not gonna trust you with mine.
Come on, I made the... Oh, Gar.
With your 4 advantage, you can have a reboot disk that you can try to make another check and fix your datapad.
I'm just trying to fix my datapad now.
Yeah, if you because you had 4 advantage, so you can have a reboot disk, like a recovery disk on your person.
Yeah, I still got a datapad. Still 2 reds.
No, just 1.
Ah!
Okay, well, you successfully recover it. It's got the most vicious virus you've ever seen on it, and it starts trying to infect everything around it, and you turn it off.
I get mad at it and I throw it into the lake.
Are you sure?
Yeah, this is my... no, I do. I throw that sucker in the lake.
Okay.
I kick the droid in the shins. My toes hurt now.
So you think that droid probably got killed by the virus? It's a nasty virus.
That is not that's not a film droid. Into the cave.
Kizik's like, I've got all the despairs out of my system now. I threw them in the lake with the data pad. Alright, so everybody's going in the cave?
Yeah, I'll go.
I don't think I heard anything, there we go, from Argon or Dane, so I'm assuming we're compliant with this plan.
Yep. Cave time.
Okay.
Oh no, we should leave Dane at the top, and he could call the elevator back up.
I understand why you said that, but let's just think tactically for 30 seconds and say we're going to leave the least defensible member of the party alone in a place known as the Nexu Fields.
Yeah, it's the best idea.
That sounds awesome.
I can lock myself in this cage and they won't be able
You
to
got
get
like
out.
a Nexu cage. You could protect yourself that way.
You guys can do whatever you want.
I'm staying with the party.
It's a wise decision. All right. Oh, that's actually really bad to put that. Let's go back to the Nexo Fields map and put it here.
I crashed.
Oh, it's gonna make you sad because I didn't Fog of War any of this.
It doesn't make me sad. I don't metagame.
That's right. Yeah.
That's why I walk right into a room that I know is a threat.
All right, I got a Crikey, I've got a Gar, I've got a Hook, I've got Dane and Argon. The turbo lift descends for over a minute in pure blackness, and then descends into a room that is very brightly lit. Around you, you see dormant versions of the setups of droids you just saw. So you see 2 of the wandering scout survey droids for every scout collector droid you see in this bay that's obviously meant for them to go to and from the surface via that turbo lift.
How old does everything seem to be?
Pretty old. This is definitely Clone Wars or prior technology.
It's been running all this time?
They're all plugged into charging stations.
Is there a layer of dust around?
Yeah, the place is pretty grimy. In here you can see a couple of maintenance droids floating around. They seem like they're definitely in current use. But you also see footprints going in and out of the room. Like this, it's an active facility, but it's very old.
Are there any security cameras
Human
or spiders on the ceiling?
Security cameras are the first thing. Go ahead and roll 1 purple perception check. Craven, what'd you say?
Human footprints?
Humanoid footprints. They definitely look like they're people footprints, but it could be a protocol droid too.
And currently active, as in there are people here.
Your survival check may tell you more about that. Was that the perception check?
Yeah, no spiders on the ceiling.
There are no spiders on the ceiling. There are also no cameras in this bay. This bay appears to be considered to be a maintenance and droid area.
What's my survival check?
2 purples for examining whether or not there have been people in and out. You are burning up them triumphs today, huh? Okay, well. Technically it's supposed to be a fail. But,
Finds the password to the computer system.
Unlock Data's terminal right there.
I kind of like that idea. While he's going around, you find a specially modified datapad with a comm link plugged into it. When you power it on, you realize it's a remote control for one of the Scout Wanderer droids. Like it's a manual control for one of the droids.
Oh, that's cool.
I immediately start taping a camera to it. POV of Spider Droid.
Hey, can I steer that thing around? You mind? Guy, you mind?
What's up, Nix? How you doing?
At first I said, no, it's mine, and then I handed it to you.
Oh, thanks.
I pushed the talk on because she's very loud.
Yes, she is.
Yes. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
It works like it works like an RC car.
Right. I'm gonna take it to the door.
Yeah, is this door open?
The door opens as the droid walks up to it. It seems as though there's a transponder on the droid that makes the doors open automatically.
Oh shit. Okay. So I'm gonna get out in the hall and look around.
Okay. Y'all get out in the hall, look around. Once again, this part of the facility's in disrepair, but there's lots of there's panels and stuff missing off the wall, but they're not laying in the middle of the floor. They've been pushed off towards the walls. Also, the doors all have lights on them. These doors also have fisheye camera lenses pointed down. They're not pointed out across the hallway, but they're pointed directly down.
I thought we were going to use the droid to scout it out.
He said he walked out into the hallway.
Yeah, I came out in the hallway to look around.
I literally said, let's use that to scout it out. And you took it from me, and then you just walked out in the hallway.
So you know how, the immediate reaction when you get a remote control car is to follow the remote control car around, as you're driving it?
I'll take it from you.
But we're already out in the hallway.
I'm going to use it to scout around.
Okay.
Where are you gonna go? You gonna
I don't
take it?
know. Don't you want to know what's ahead of us before we get there?
Yeah, but it also opens the doors.
Yeah,
So
you gotta.
we should stay here and search the facility to make sure there's no people here.
How did I goof that up? I did, though. I forgot to put doors in a couple spots. My bad, guys.
Alright. You scout it out. I think, Dane and I will try to find, the, HVAC tubes. Maybe I can shove Dane into a, heat exchanger. I mean, you know.
I want to
duct.
shove Dane in a heat exchanger.
Like, try to cook me, or just try to send me through the vents? Because
Yeah, he's spy movies.
Just say yes.
I appreciate the sentiment that I might be able to do that. We'll see. I might be able to. I might not. But sure, I'll look for I'll look for the vents to see if there's a possibility for that.
Gar's gonna walk off in a huff following the RC car.
Okay. Which way is everybody going? Try not to go more than 3 or 4 tiles at a time, because it's a lot of you keep track of.
I'm following Gar and the spider.
Yeah, I'm scouting it, but I'm doing exactly what
Yeah, you're walking right behind it.
following behind it, yeah.
He keeps looking left and the right. I'm on the wall, trying to be real sneaky.
So Dane, you gonna roll a perception check looking for vents?
Sure. I guess the first thing I was gonna check is, now that the spider's away from this door,
It does close, and the light turns red.
and then when
Damn.
it does not open for us, is my
Nope.
assumption.
When you walk back up to it, it does nothing.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look for vents over in this area, and
Okay. Give me a 1 red, 1 purple perception check. It's not to see whether or not you find a vent. It's to see whether or not you find a vent you will fit in. There are definitely vents.
I'll
Could it
get
be
you
the
in.
spider that's actually activating the doors?
That would be the assumption, yes.
yep, I find nothing.
You find plenty of vents, but they're all the size of a loaf of bread.
You just borrow the spider and
I can still get you in there. if
Yeah,
you
with
really
the proper amount of a proper application of strength, you can fit in there.
Alright, let's try to keep up with the spider then.
All right, good call.
All right. So, which way do you want to go?
We're heading to the medical, the one that says medical bay.
It's not actually what it says. It says biological containment.
Oh. Well, that's way different than medical bay.
I don't see where it says that. Anyway, I'm heading to the first door.
Okay. So as the survey droid walks up to that door, it beeps twice and then it opens. Shh.
Money.
And I toddle in after it.
Inside this room, there is a medical droid and several specimens, both living and expired, in cages throughout the area. The medical droid turns and scans you and beeps a series of like different sounds at you, and then in basic says, "Please state the nature of your medical emergency."
I mean, Dane over here's got a critical. He's hurt pretty bad.
Yeah, let's put Dane up on the table.
So
Yeah.
each of these tables is covered in blood.
Perfect.
I
Hey,
feel
don't you worry, Dane. This big tentacle thing right here will fix you right up.
So,
I was perfectly fine, and then as soon as I saw the blood, I passed out.
awesome. What I would like everyone who's not passed out to do is roll a perception check, but it's going to be a really hard one. It's going to be a 2 red and 1 purple check.
Jeez.
Anyone with a rank in computers can take an automatic boost.
I speak binary.
You may upgrade your check once.
You said two red and a purple?
Yes, sir. We're all
Just gonna clear that.
we're
That
all
didn't happen.
we're all over the map tonight. I was assuming that was you, Ghost.
Yeah, 3 failures, 2 advantage, 1 despair.
What are we rolling against?
It's perception. So it's 2 reds and a purple.
So which of the animals is not dead?
The ones that are physically in their cages in the map are alive.
And what is this one?
That's a Vorschner hound. They are a dog-like creature that are comparable to small wolves, but they're very vicious. Think a Chihuahua's mentality in a wolf's body.
Oh, it's my dog.
Ooh, we need to have a pet.
I'd like to hand the spider off to to the Wookiee again, and I want to go make friends with the what did you call it? Vorschner hound?
Yep.
I'm
Okay,
gonna name him Spot.
so who passed the perception check? I hope it wasn't Gar.
I didn't.
I think I did.
Dane or Argon.
Argon, you don't have a rank in computers or any type of droid skills, right? You just pass the perception? Okay. So one thing you notice is Dane's got an injury. I can't remember where his injury actually was. I think he got clawed, but we're going to say it was on his arm. And the medical droid has, first off, strapped Dane to the table and is starting to make an incision in his chest.
Perfect.
It's so cool.
You are the only one who sees this.
If you don't know anything about doctoring, how would you know that's not how you repair an arm?
Right.
Yeah, for real.
Dane is becoming stronger, better, faster.
Through his chest and not his arm.
So you're not going to say anything about this?
Whoa, wait a second. Why is this droid going in through his chest here when his boo-boo is obviously on his arm?
Are you a doctor?
No, man, just kind of stating the obvious here, you know?
I didn't jam that stim pack in your wound. I just stuck it in you somewhere.
Is there a switch to turn this droid off?
No, definitely not.
With this wrench, is there a mechanical thing I could do to turn this droid off?
Can we cut Dane free from his straps or whatever on the table?
If you would like to do that, you can try. If the wrench, the most effective way to cut the droid off is going to be to bash it in the head. But that's up to you guys. It's already got a pretty deep incision going on Dane because you guys are talking about it. So
Can I just use the spider to like run him over and push him over with the spider? Like drive it up onto him and then tip him over off of it.
sure. roll a leadership check.
Guess what I'm really bad at.
Mm-hmm.
Did we just start-
It's gonna be 2 reds.
Yeah, jeez.
Is that a piloting? Like you said, I'm directly controlling this thing.
You are, but directly controlling droids is a leadership check, I believe.
Oh no. Oh yes.
All right.
It cuts into your chest a little bit more.
It's
I got it off you.
Dane wakes up realizing something is wrong right as this is happening. And I imagine just starts screaming. It nicks him a little bit more as it's barreled over and knocked over, and then the droid goes into full combat mode, which it was already doing an anti-intrusion thing. It was capable of deceiving you and was trying to immobilize as many of you as possible before it did the thing it did next, which is open all the cages.
Huh.
So everyone's gonna have to give me initiatives.
Clearly cool, because we were prepared for this.
It's vigilance. But you do that.
Everybody gets 2 boosts to their vigilance, by the way.
Oh shit.
Zero 3.
3-2.
We're all doing the blue against our vigilance, right?
You get 2 blues on your vigilance. I got 2-2.
Betty 1 got a 4-0. Betty 2 got a 4-0. Shit. Betty 3 got a 2-1. And a 2-3.
I think I got everything. 2 baddies at 4-0, baddie at 2-1.
2-1 and 1-3. 4 total baddies. Okay. So because the spider is remote controlled, you'll have to choose whether or not it goes or you go on your turn, Crikey, since you're the one holding the remote.
Right,
Okay. The medical droid is going to take its laser scalpel and attack the spider that is barreling it over. It criticals. Wow. I wish I rolled this good normally. Like, when it was me. I don't have this thing's... We've got a blaster pistol. We'll just use it. Alright, so 6 plus 3 is 9 and a triumph. That scout droid takes a significant amount of damage. Yeah. Chunks of armor come flying off of it. It's not destroyed, but it's following its last command as well as it was, which was to walk in this direction. And it's basically just barreling over top of this medical droid, dragging it on the floor along with it, as the laser scalpel tries to cut pieces of it out. The Nexu's going to go next. No, it's not, because he was already over here playing with the Vorshner. The Vorshner Hound's going to go next. Where did I do it? There it is.
Who's a good boy?
That's pretty much what he was saying. Oh, that's not the right thing. I need the cards, not the models. The models I already have. That's less than helpful. What do we do with the card stack? Make a new one. Creatures. Search. Ice woofy things. I think. No. Maybe it was. Definitely not that. There we go. That's right. Difficult. All right. So it's not a silent. It's not going to get a silent hunter check. It's going to get teeth and calls, which is brawl. Okay. Do you have any type of melee defense there, Mr. Craven?
I don't think so because I didn't get that glaive yet, right?
It doesn't give you melee defense, but your gauntlet you did get.
No, not that. There was something I ordered from that merchant last time.
Oh.
I haven't picked it up yet.
Yeah, no, you haven't gotten back to town for that yet.
So no melee defense yet. I do have a brawl check. One rank in brawl.
Sure, go ahead. What is it?
Huh?
What's your brawl check?
1 yellow, 2 green.
That makes it a 50-50. Oof. Well, at least it's bad, guys. That's how I normally roll. Since it's a despair against you, Craven, he is going to succeed in doing his attack, which is 7 damage pierce 2. But he despaired. Would you like to do anything special with this dog's despair? With this hound's despair? You cannot just instantly tame it. That is a bullshit thing that should never have happened. You can pacify it temporarily.
Yeah. I have a synthetic anesthetic on me.
You can absolutely pacify it.
As it gets a hold of my left arm, I jam that into the back of its neck.
Okay. All right. So you're basically letting it maul your other arm so that you can get it jabbed in. That makes perfect sense. All right. The hound starts to wane less and less and less, and by the end of this turn, it's going to have nodded off. And that brings us to our first Crikey.
Alright, so I don't really have control over the spider bot anymore, huh?
You can if you would like to. However, because you're remote controlling it, you have to choose.
You said it has like a shock.
It's hit auto attack.
So it's right now it's kind of like got its brain hacked. It doesn't have a droid intelligence right now. It's remote control like an RC car. It does have a stun blaster on board if you want to use that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it.
Okay. I'm gonna let you use its skill with the stun blaster. Its skill is 1 yellow and 3 greens.
Alright. What's the difficulty?
Are you shooting the Wanderer Scout or the medical droid?
Yes.
Okay. Are you sure you want to do this?
I don't see why I wouldn't want to do this.
His stun damage doesn't affect robots.
Oh, yeah.
You're looking for ion damage.
Yeah, that's right.
Am I allowed to tell him that?
Yes.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure.
I was going to tell him if he went too far. I just wanted to see if he figured it out for himself.
I didn't know if you were trying to let him do it or what, so... My bad. Or not bad, I don't know.
Oh, you're all good.
Alright, I'm just gonna grab my gun and shoot.
Okay.
That's what I'll do, instead of the whole robot thing.
Because the stun blaster would work fine on, like,
On
the animals. That's what it's for. Okay.
Makes sense.
What are you going to shoot?
I'm gonna shoot the medical droid.
Okay. That seems like a really good idea. He's entangled with a ally. Do you care if you hit the survey droid?
No.
Okay. So that's probably going to be one. Is he a? I'm gonna call him an adversary. So it's going to be one red.
Okay.
All right.
Did it?
How much damage is that?
16.
Holy shit. Which one was I using? It's the one with the blaster. That's this one. You did 16. Okay. You blow bits and pieces of this thing everywhere. Considering the damage I already took from getting barreled over by the survey droid, I'm going to say that you blast the medical droid into slag. It stops moving.
Right.
Alrighty. After Crikey is officially Dane. Dane, you are tied to a table.
With the hole in
Right.
the chest.
You do have a bleeding hole in your chest where it was about to start opening up your rib cage like a
It squirts blood every now and then,
yeah.
like when you breathe.
It's not that deep, but it's definitely disconcerting because you're tied to a table and that thing was about to open you up.
We saved your life.
But they debated about it.
Put him in this situation to begin with.
We're not doctors. We didn't know that wasn't a legit thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything I can actually do whilst tied to this table.
But you could try to get untied from the table.
That seems like a good plan.
You could also pass this because you guys can swap turns. So
Yes, I will pass my player slot. I'll say, hey, I'm tied to a table. Someone else go.
who do you want to swap with?
I will swap with Hooks.
All right, Hooks. It is now your turn. Dane is going on the bottom of the round.
So I feel a Nexu sneaking up behind me.
It's not sneaking. The cage popped open and it's going to pounce on you on its turn, but it's reared back. You've seen a cat ready to pounce on something.
Yeah. I don't want that to happen to me. And I picked up a pump action scatter blaster, and had that strapped, and that surprisingly fits well in my hands. And I turned around and I will just prepare one. Do I have to cock it and use a maneuver?
Is it really prepare one? If it's prepare one, then yes, you have to take a turn, or maybe prepare one's a maneuver. You should look that up real quick.
Pretty sure it's a turn.
I think it's a turn,
I thought it was a maneuver.
but we should definitely go look that up because I can't remember. If it's a maneuver, then you have to take 2 strain because you drew the weapon, and you got to prepare 1, and then you got to shoot. Wow. You're at engaged range. If you, during a successful attack at engaged range, and it's Pierce 4 rather than Blast 6. That's actually a really cool gun.
Good for the prepare part.
Yeah. From this little box here, it says maneuvers, preparation. Some actions require a preparation maneuver or multiple.
Okay, there you go. It's a maneuver. So you can take 2 strain and blast away. That's probably good for you. So the Nexu, this is a unmodified one. They are a rival. So you are going to be doing 1 red because he's at short range. He hasn't pounced yet. Versus your
One red.
versus your heavy ranged.
It's cumbersome 3. Does that mean I take a black because I'm not strong enough to hold it?
I think it upgrades the check. Oh, it's twice. It's per rank of brawn you are short, so it's going to upgrade the difficulty twice.
Awesome.
That's not a good gun for you.
I realized that as I turned around.
Uh-huh.
Ouch.
All right. Well, you missed. How would you like to spend your 1 advantage?
I can't spend 1 advantage. I'll take a strain back.
That's it.
Felt cool. That was the best feeling sound I've ever held.
Mm-hmm. It also is loud AF. Like, the Wookiee just shot his bowcaster, and that's like half the decibels of what just happened out of the end of that gun. Okay.
There's like an outline of a Nexu in the floor where you missed.
Or I thought there was going to be a spider, so I shot right above its head, making sure the spider didn't drop down on him.
No, what it was you're not familiar with how a pump-action shotgun works, so you were holding the trigger down. Actually, there was a guy at the academy who did this when we were training. So you were so in the moment that you were holding the trigger down, and then you were like, oh crap, it's not loaded, and then you pumped it, and it went off when you pumped it.
If that scout droid survives tonight, you know how much fun we're gonna have with Hookers?
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna wake up with that thing just standing over the top of his bed.
So, Gar, I think that makes it your turn. You're kind of cuddling a about to go to sleep Vorshner hound. It's gently gnawing on your arm.
Yeah, this happens. I heal.
I know a dog that really does that.
Yeah. So while I'm just gonna drag it over to the Nexu, and I'm going to pull out my shotgun and blow the Nexu in half before it eats Hookers.
Okay. Take 2 strain for taking 2 maneuvers. It's the same difficulty check, though. He's a short range. Oh, take one black, because if you miss, you are going to hit hooks.
What's the difficulty?
Oh, it's 1 red.
Unless your gun's really heavy.
He has the brawn to carry your gun. Your gun's actually probably pretty good for him. And Crikey could also carry your gun, but he already has a kick-ass gun. Actually, so does Scar, for that matter. Pretty much everybody that can carry that gun, good to go. Dude.
I cut it in half.
What's with you?
There is Nexu. There's a perfectly skinned Nexu pelt on Hooker's shoulders now.
But it's not a minion, so it doesn't instantly kill it unless you do enough damage to do it. How much damage do you do?
Hold on, I'm checking.
To do it in 1 shot, you'd need 23.
So I'm at 8 damage right now, and then it has linked.
Oh, it has linked. That's cool.
A double barrel shotgun.
Yeah, you don't have any advantage, but you can use a triumph to trigger linked if you'd like.
You know what? I'm gonna have it on stun setting, and I'm gonna do double. Can I do double damage? No, linked is double damage, right?
Yep, linked is double damage. Well, it's double base damage, but for the triumph, you can do double.
It's either 7 and 7 is 14 plus my 1 success is 15.
Okay, it's not enough to render it unconscious, but it definitely, like, if you use a stun setting, it definitely hurt it.
Yep.
I said 15, so it's gonna be. Oh. All right.
I got its attention.
Absolutely did. Now I have to remember to track both strain and wound damage. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. I haven't been killing the animals. I don't think I should start now. These experimental ones, I only lured Crikey here because I want to see what's down here.
Well, this room appears to be full of the non-modified ones. This is apparently the room where the modifications happen.
Damn it. Thought I had Super Dog.
So, next up is Baddie. We're going to do Nexu because I don't know if he's going to be around much longer. And he has Fierce Pounce. He's going to use an aim maneuver to gain knockdown on his next attack. And then he is going to pounce onto... Ooh, which one of you gets it? Who wants red? Who wants red? Who wants blue? Between Gar and Hook.
I got red.
I got blue.
All right, it's Hooks. All right.
It meant to pounce on me, but it's so dazed by getting stunned.
It's going to use Bite. And Bite is a brawl check, so it's going to be 1 yellow and 2 greens. Do you have any defense against that?
I have 1 melee defense.
Excellent. You want to try to brawl pose it, or you want to take its standard attack?
Just take its attack.
Okay. It's probably better than your brawl check would have been anyway. It failed to attack and hit. So it goes to jump it. You know what actually happens is, because all of this happens in the moment, Hookroos goes off and shoots the round at the same time as Gar is shooting his round. And in the statter, the Nexu jumps past Hooks like in shock from the pain and sound, and is now behind where Hooks was facing. Baddie 1-3 is going to have to be the Malrus, which is going to bound this way. We're going to make these a little bit more tolerable this time. Alright. It is going to go after Crikey. He looks like the biggest threat in the area. Crikey, do you have any melee defense?
Nah, I did not. Not yet. Need to find myself a big old knife.
Well, it comes at you. You've just taken a shot at the survey droid. This thing comes bounding at you. You go to swipe it with the butt of your gun and like smack it, but all you do manage to do is push it away. And you push it over top of the table, and it's now sitting, it's like bounced over, it's kind of laying on its side where it almost ran right into Argon.
Bad kitty.
Speaking of Argon, it's now your turn.
Hey. So I'm assuming this thing is in melee range, or
It is.
still?
So you can choose to take a step back. Like it hit you when it came over the table, so it is in melee range. Or you can choose to take a step back, which will cost you maneuver, but put you in short range, which is where you want to be to shoot.
Yeah, we're gonna take a step back.
Okay.
So we will take a step back, and I will take a shot at it. I will try and, take a shot at it, since I can't aim, since I've already reused my maneuver. So
This guy's a minion, so he only gets a 1 purple for his difficulty.
You can still two strain and aim.
You absolutely can.
Get that boost.
You're not going to need it though.
So what did you say? I could do the strain with a boost, or?
Yeah, you can take 2 strain, which means you up your purple or your blue score here on your ticker by 2, and then you can get a blue dice. If you can take up to 2 maneuvers, but your second maneuver costs strain, because it's like you're really straining yourself to do something extra in a short amount of time.
Sure. Let's go ahead and do that.
Okay.
So strain up to.
Yep, and then add a blue dice, which is a boost.
There we go.
Okay. You're using your DL44?
I am using the DL44.
Okay, it's dead. You just criticaled on a minion. And basically, it falls on the ground next to you. You take a step back, put your pistol up to its head. Blam! You got one. No one untied Dane. It's now Dane's turn again. Dane, would you like to try to Houdini out of this thing?
Yes.
Brute.
Granted, I feel like my Houdini is going to be very gentle because I can see that there's a hole in my chest.
Okay, you're flipping your pages around so much I can't look at your stats.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I'm not very athletic or.
Yeah, it's the same check either way. You can coordination or brute strength it. It's up to you.
I'm gonna attempt to be sly and use coordination.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'd like to think that I'm a smart and coordinated person, not a brute. Difficulty?
It's 5 to escape a set of binders. 5, yep, purples.
Alright.
That was not nearly as much of a failure as I expected it to be.
Yeah, I'm like, at least I can't despair with this.
Like, you come damn close to getting yourself free. It does cause you a little bit of strain because you're like panicking and pulling at yourself, and you have a hole in your chest, so you hurt yourself a little bit.
Is it 2 strain?
Yep.
Alright.
Just make it 1. So, top of the round, the medical droid is toast, so he doesn't get to go. The Voishner is pacified, so he doesn't get to go. Next up would be the Nexu. The Nexu is closest to Hook. He's going to go after him again. Alright. He manages to hit this time. He doesn't get his knockdown because he already used that last time. He was using the bite, which criticals on 3, and he only got 2. He got 2, so he can get ensnare. So he bites onto Hookruz. Hookruz is now ensnared. It's Pierce 1. It's 7 damage, plus his 1 damage. It's 8 damage, Pierce 1. And there is a Nexu on your arm that is pulling you to the ground.
He's trying to do what Guy's doing.
And it's... Oh, that's alright. I gotta let the other baddie go. Oh no, the Malrus is done. He's the only one who can go. It's all the players now.
Oh, I'm gonna try to get Dane up off the table.
You walk right by Hook, who's like shaking a Nexu off his arm, like, I'll get to you in a second.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, you're trying to do what Guy's doing. You're doing it wrong, though. You gotta see what Guy's doing. He hit it with a hypodermic needle. But yeah,
Walk it off, Hooks.
Trying to get over to Dane and get him off the table.
I feel like I'm like, are you sure you want to do this? Hooks is looking kind of rough.
So,
Yeah, alright.
so I'm just gonna... If you want to spend your whole turn doing it, you can just cut him free. You don't need to make any rolls or anything. Just, you know, you flip out your knife, you wish it was a big knife, but you got a little one, and you just cut him free.
Yeah, on the flip side of that, can I just take a shot and cut him all in one turn? I just can't do the name action or anything?
It's gonna be an action to do it without a roll.
Okay.
So if you want to make a roll to try to do all those things at once, knowing that failure could be bad, you absolutely can.
All right.
But you're trying to do 2 things that you normally would, you know.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to make it cool though. So I step forward and I unleash my claws for the first time to snap the bindings on Dane.
Oh, nice.
For like the first time today?
No, like for the first time since I got kicked out of Wookiee Society.
Nice. All right. So we're gonna call that a simple, meaning unopposed, brawl check. Because I'm assuming Dane isn't going to oppose this.
I hope not.
As a matter of fact, Dane, yeah, Dane, you can add a boost if you want to, like, hold your arm up because you know what he's about to do.
Or you can add a set buff because you're like, holy shit, he's a mutant Wookiee with claws, and
Yeah, I feel like I'm just gonna freeze altogether because it's like I want to move out of the way, but then I see the claws coming at me, like what the fuck, and I basically just freeze.
Okay.
I thought for a minute you were going to get a triumph on your unopposed check.
That dice was really close.
All right, you succeed on that one. Go ahead and take your shot. Give yourself a boost. That went really well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just turn into a big spin. All right. And the
He's-
difficulty to hit this guy?
He's 1 red, 1 black. And if you fail, you will almost certainly hit hooks.
I'm gonna hit the shit out of hooks.
Almost.
I did it.
Okay.
15 damage?
It's way more than he has left. There's a hole through the middle of an Exu that falls limply to the ground. All of that gunfire, you start to hear nee, 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 nee coming through the hallway.
Great.
We gonna try to elevate the hell out of here?
I'm gonna see
We have
what's
to
going
kill
on.
all these abominations.
We need to at least cover the door a second to make sure nothing's weird is coming through the door to come after us.
Is the survey droid still okay? Enough to mobilize itself?
It is enough to move itself. It is not in fantastic condition. It will open the door if you walk it over to the door.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna still use it as a key, I guess. And we'll open this door.
Okay?
Does the medical droid have a stim pack on him somewhere?
I have a stim pack if you need one.
I got a stem.
You got a hole in your chest, you should probably use it.
I feel like the hole in the chest was only narrative. It didn't actually give me any damage.
That's true. If you want to do a quick perception check, you can scramble around at the chemical workbench for a stim pack. Give yourself an unopposed perception check. However many successes you get is how many stim packs you find.
How many triumphs?
You may have 7 stim packs.
This is yeah. Oh my goodness. You got stim packs for days,
Can
guy.
I have one of those? This
Yeah,
thing,
here you go.
thing got me a little bit.
Here you go. 7 stim packs in a stack.
I toss one to Gar, and I watch him imply it and try to do the exact same thing he does. Because we're buddies now. We both were attacked in the arms by creatures.
Yeah, but I'm still cuddling mine. Are you still cuddling yours?
No, I'm covered in its gore. I think I win, right?
Saved your life.
Hooks was like, we're going to be friends, and we're not going to be friends.
I tried to be friends by cocking a shotgun at it. I don't know what went wrong.
So the door's open, so you guys can hear shouting and running footsteps coming down the hallway.
I'm just picturing in my mind the scene from the guards' point of view, these infiltrators. They get to this, like, hallway they've seen a million times, except that this time a door opens and this fucking scout spider walks through, looks at them, and then comes right back through.
Did that droid just say nope?
Yep. It even shook its little body like this. Alright, guys, there's some guards coming.
Yeah, man, it's a defensive position. See if they want to talk. I'm already got my shotgun prepared. I'm ready to go. I know not to hold that one. I'm trying to use
Since
the chemistry bench.
since the door's open, you do not have a ton of time to maneuver into different positions before these guys stack up on the door and are about to come through.
Well, I'm gonna do an important thing, and I'm gonna stick the puppy in my backpack.
Okay. It's not really a puppy.
All doggies are puppies.
I mean, but size-wise. I
All
mean,
doggies are puppies.
not positive it'll fit in your backpack.
The friggin' dire wolf.
Yeah, it's a hyper-aggressive wolf.
He's got his legs all tied into one, and he's wearing it as a backpack.
Now that I could see. So the first thing that's going to happen is the first guard is going to shoot at the droid, which is sitting in the doorway. And he's going to hit it for... There it is. Heavy blaster pistols, damage 7, plus 1 is 8. 1 advantage is not enough to trigger. So hits it for 8 damage. How much more can this thing take? That one. that one. It cannot. So the droid gets blasted and flies into shrapnel. Ew. Bits and pieces of it fall apart.
Does the door close?
Probably. Do you want the door to close?
I was just asking if it does.
So I rolled it, and I rolled a triumph, and I interpret that as the player gets to choose. Does the door close?
How about this? The sensor array or whatever that opens these doors, it just comes off in one chunk, so we can pick it up.
Okay. Totally happens. There's like a transponder it's blinking green, all cinematic style wise, and it rolls off of the droid. All right, we're gonna use the same initiative order because I have 4 of them. That means that they get another one. So the first guy shot that droid. This guy tries to like do the whole tactical sweep things. The first person he's gonna see is Gar. Gar, do you have any range defense? I'm going to take the silence as a no. You don't have any range defense.
I was talking.
Okay.
No, I just have a puppy dog head sticking over my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Just lolling around, tongue out, eyes cross-eyed.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Wave at him.
This guard doesn't actually have any ranks in using his gun. That's a shitty guard.
My favorite kind of guard.
Deep ones.
Yeah. So, I guess that's technically it. Still hit, though. 2 successes. Heavy blast rifle 7, so he does a total of 9 damage. He does not have enough to trigger a critical. It's not pierce or anything. Ooh.
Grant me permissions and I can fix this door thing.
Sure.
I just want to open the doorway.
You do know that it's not going to open, right?
Yes.
There's a wall in between it.
Yeah, I'm going to clone the wall after I move the wall. I'm just going to make an opening the size of the door. That's my deal.
You have been promoted.
Thank you very much.
Alright, so. Guard 2, shot Gar. Basic blaster carbine style thing. It's basically a heavy blaster pistol with a stock on it. And that makes it Crikey's turn. Or he can trade out for someone else if he's busy making a wall.
I'm gonna shoot at one of these guys, but I don't think I have the right angle yet. So I'm gonna wait until they come through the doorway. I'll give it to somebody else.
Okay, you can hold action if you want. Does someone else want to take his spot, or do we want to hold and let one of the bad guys go?
I'll take it.
Okay. Argon and Gar are both in position to see that guy. So either one of them can go.
I'll take it.
Okay. The difficulty to hit him is 1 red.
All right, 1 red. We're gonna go. We're gonna aim and take a shot.
2 doors. Nobody else sees that, right?
Yeah, there's 2 doors.
Okay.
You said 1 red, right?
Yes, sir. It's 1 red. There's 2 because it doesn't. The wall's too thick, and it doesn't look right if you don't have 1 on each side.
Oh, I'm tracking. I got you. Let's cheat that.
That is a fuck ton of advantage.
Oh boy.
But you did miss.
Suppressing fire.
So how would you like to use your fuck ton of advantage?
Boost the next player.
Oh, what was that?
You want to boost the next player.
He's just just saying that because he's the next player.
Well, no, I think that's a large idea, actually. I mean, or I can't hit the guy. I can't kill him or hit him because I didn't do anything.
He dodges into my line of fire.
Okay.
Right, that's basically about it. So yeah, we're gonna boost the next player.
Okay, so boosting the next player, you can have 2 boost dice.
Spend them well.
And I am the next player, so I'm going to shoot that butthole that shot me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to aim. And is 1 red, you said?
Yes, sir. He's 1 red. Oof.
Okay, so a lot of things are going to happen now.
Nice.
So first that's linked.
Yep, you need 16 to get him in one shot.
7 and 7 is 14 plus 3 is 17.
Yeah.
Without the triumph, it's 17.
Okay, how would you like to use your triumph? I imagine this is where a lot of things happen at the same time comes in.
I mean, yes and no. I kind of want to stim stick the dog and just toss it out there and close the door.
You could do that. If you want another option, I, as the GM, know something that the triumph would really help with.
All right, go for it.
This guy's carrying 2 stun grenades.
They're about to go off.
That would be the thing that I would do if I were choosing the triumph.
Yeah. They go off.
Because they're all stacked up, like huddled up against each other, going through a door.
And now they're all going to be humping each other on the floor.
I think so. Let's see. So, stun grenades do 8, blast 8, stun damage. So 8 and 8 is 16. They each have a wound threshold. Well, so the first guy's definitely going to go down. Everyone else is going to take half their wound threshold in stun damage. So this guy's dead. This guy is on the floor drooling, and these two guys are like, what the fuck just happened? And they're dazed and confused. And... and they're not that smart. I'm going to say one of them is going to take his turn to run. I'm going to let him get about that far. The other one is going to circle around and try to shoot. Let's see who he decides to shoot. Ooh. Crikey, are you within... oh, you were holding action too. Oh no, you swapped your turn out. Okay, so he actually comes all the way around. He runs across the door like Cyril Figgis suppressing fire with a rifle, with a cycler rifle. Cycler rifles are slug throwers, so the sound it makes is very traditional. Crikey, you said you have a ranged defense?
I do not.
You do not. I'm going to upgrade the difficulty once, because he's...
I'm kind of in cover.
yeah, he's running and gunning. Well, you'll get a setbacks for that, so I'll give you a setback for being in cover. And I upgraded his difficulty because he's running across the doorway, just shooting wildly inside.
Bring it.
He still hit. Everybody saw that roll. I didn't do it.
Ow.
Okay. I'm still going to use the same damage model for him. So 7 plus 3 is 10 damage, and he has no pierce or special effects of any kind. It does 10 damage to the Wookiee. Don't forget your rage. And he falls into the other side. Alright. Ironically, I think it's Crikey's turn.
I'm going to go pull his arms off.
Okay.
So I come around. Nah, you know what? I spin and shoot. He's pretty close.
He is.
I'm not going to advance into melee range. I'm just going to shoot him.
Okay.
On the mid.
He's one red.
Cool story, bro. Yeah, that's right. I was robbed.
You absolutely were. How'd you like to spend your 3 advantage?
I guess I'm gonna pin him down.
Okay.
And, push him to the floor, right?
Yeah. You can pin him down. It'll act as a setback mechanically, but yes.
Okay.
Alright. Hooks, I think you're the last one to go, right?
Him and me.
Did I miss Dane?
I haven't gone.
And I know Hooks hasn't gone. I thought Dane had already had a turn.
No,
Oh, wait, can we
basically
retcon?
my-
So I moved out of the way. I can use those advantages to move, right?
Yes, because you haven't taken a maneuver.
Yeah, I'm gonna step back out of the doorway.
Okay, apparently Dane got skipped, so Dane and Hooks need to go.
Yeah, I've got a shotgun sitting on a chemistry table, and I have cocked it, waiting for people to come through the door. And I see a guy run past the door. I'm gonna pull that trigger.
Okay. He's one red and one black because he's also got Crikey right there too, and it's a shotgun.
Can I just upgrade that one since I'm using the table to support it?
Yeah, I'll give it to you since you're such an extreme disadvantage.
Shooting from a bench.
Yeah. All right, so
I guess I'm not going to get that shotgun to play with.
You still hit me.
that's actually where I was going.
Better.
What's the blast damage on it?
Blast is 6.
Crikey takes the blast damage. The cycler rifle guy takes the full damage. How much is it? It's like 20.
No, it's 13. Plus
13.
blast damage is an extra 6, so 19.
Yeah. So that guy pokes his head out as Crikey's shooting at him, and then Crikey reels back and gets in cover and pokes his head out again. And when Crikey looks back, there's a headless corpse kind of teetering and then falls over. And then,
With the squirty blood out the top.
and then Crikey realizes that his arm hurts really badly.
Bradley's.
Ah, damn, you did that almost perfect. All right, Dane. The sound of a huffing and puffing security guard running away can be heard through the hallway.
Ooh, do I take 19 then?
No, you only take the 6.
Okay.
That's why it hurts real bad. Instead of you wouldn't feel anything.
My arm's there, not gone.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk up and take one of my 2 stim packs and jam it into Crikey.
Oh, thanks, bro.
I figured I'd help a little bit.
You know that guard is gonna go get more people.
And then I'm gonna poke my head out and
Ooh, snipe him.
do my best to snipe him with this heavy blaster pistol.
Okay, you need to take 2 strain for taking 2 maneuvers. Technically, it would be more than that, but that's fine. Well, we're going to let you do it.
Light range, it's 1 red still.
You know what? I'm going to let you have it, but if you miss, he's going to be at medium range next turn.
Okay, yeah, I was curious how far away he was. Alright. Alright, already taking 2 strain. And
He's just straight up hauling ass. All right, how much damage do you do?
I think that's, let's see, not enough to critical. Looks like it's just 8 damage.
Just 8 damage. All right.
8 damage. Not the worst ever.
Not bad at all, actually. All right.
I don't have a bowcaster that does 16 damage, but
So you nail him in the back. It does reflect off the armor, but you can clearly see that he's bleeding from where you just shot him in the back. On his next turn, I'll decide whether or not he dives into this room for cover or finishes his task. But I guess it's got to be his turn next because you're the last one to go, aren't you?
Yep.
All right, let me roll his fortitude. He passed his fortitude check. He's gonna take the rest of his turn, run inside this door, and you're gonna see the door close. You're not sure what happens after that.
Does the little light turn red?
The light definitely turns red. All right, that's gonna effectively pull you guys out of combat.
All right, everybody regroup. We're gonna have to go all the way in there. I'm pretty sure that guy's gonna come back with reinforcements.
or we could take the turbo lift out.
Yeah, we gotta get rid of all these abominations.
Yeah, why would we leave now? The adventure's just starting.
Yeah, Guy was right. I mean,
What kind of armor are these guys wearing?
Padded armor. It's like 2 soak. I can look up.
Regular heavy blaster rifles.
Actually, so they're not blaster rifles. They're heavy blaster pistols, but they've turned them into carbines. So they're basically blaster pistols with a stock on them. Hold on a second. I'll get you the stats for the armor in a second.
Like, is their blaster pistol basically what I have?
Your blaster pistol is, I think, better than what they have.
Okay.
Hey, Cranky, can you take out that camera down there?
Yeah, I can try. I'm gonna lean out and try to get a good hit on it.
Yeah.
Bing. The fisheye lens on the door, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty hard shot. This is the armor they have.
I think it's better than what I've got.
Well, there's a perfectly fine set of it, except for all the blood all over it, off that one headless corpse.
Alright, I will be a scavenger and loot that. I've already got blood on me anyways.
How many rolls did it take you to hit it?
Oh, I haven't tried yet.
Okay.
What's the difficulty? I just put a red and 2 purples up.
It's medium range and it's a stationary target, but it is small, so I'm going to say that it's actually a red and a purple.
Okay. Let's try to do this in one. Oh no! The door opens.
Nope, the door doesn't open. That door doesn't open. That door opens. Some angry so you're coming around the corner, and you fire, and these are what they look like. And then this door opens, and some angry, very well armed Mandalorians come through the door.
No way.
We're in trouble now, mates. Wait a second. Are Mandalorians ever been known to mercenary out like this?
Yeah. 110%. Like, it's primarily what they're known for. Also, you're making a lot of assumptions. Yeah.
Did you really just ask that?
Just double chicken. The bodies, do they still have the any more grenades on there? Kind of like root and loot?
I mean, you just triggered an event. If you want to try to do that while they're in this hallway, you can do that. But you're probably going to get shot doing it.
Yeah. Alright, I'm going to see them and I'm going to scramble back inside. And then I'm going to say, fuck guys, there's 4 fucking Mandalorians out there.
Did I get the padded armor close to off before the Mandalorian showed up?
I'm going to say you started to undress the guy. But no, you're not going to have gotten it all the way off. You could drag the corpse.
He looks up with a half-naked dude in his hands. And just 4 Mandalorians just staring at him.
And then I
Left all by himself.
But you did accurately describe the scenario. They haven't started shooting yet. They just barreled through the door.
yeah,
You could get these grenades, man. You're already there.
I immediately drop the guy and I turn and like scramble and crawl.
The lead Mandalorian looks back at his friends. He's like, did that guy just dope out of there?
Yep.
I'd like to throw a comm link out there, an actual comm link.
Okay, so you're not going to like place a grenade instead of a comm link?
Not at all. I know exactly what's going on. Throwing a comm link out there, and then I'm looking at Gar because I had my big heavy shotgun, and I know that like I'm not getting it up as high as I should. And I was like, I was slowly walking over to him, but then I heard, "Pow! Oh my goodness, Mandalorians!" So I'm throwing my thing out there, and I'm gonna walk over to him and say, "Hey, can I borrow your comlink? Just let's see if we can talk our way out of this."
I look at the giant gun you are trying to wield, and I take it from you and give you the gun that I've been using and tell you to take really good care of it because it's precious.
That's actually probably a really good trade, except for he doesn't have any points in light ranged.
Never mind. You're a heavy weapons guy, and you don't have the strength to carry them.
That's correct. You can't even give him the other rifle.
You have a strength of 1?
Yeah, man. I just like to pour shots.
He's very special.
There was a slug thrower rifle earlier he could have used. Anyway,
Yeah, comlink's out there.
so, do you leave the door open?
Yeah.
Okay. So the comlink beeps, and the Mandalorian's like, we don't know who you are or why you're here, but I think you picked the wrong facility to fuck with.
We got nothing problem with you guys.
We
were
don't know who you are either.
Yeah, we defending
Or why you're
ourselves.
here.
Are you guys part of ICOR 4?
They all kind of look at each other, and they're like, ICOR 4 doesn't exist anymore.
What is this place then?
It used to be an ICOR 4 facility. Now, why are you here, other than to kill the other mercs that were working this facility? Actually, that phrasing is inaccurate. They shouldn't say it that way. They would say, other than to kill these security guards and to disrupt our business.
We found an elevator and we came down because we thought monsters were coming from here, so we were going to hunt them because we're hunters.
Right.
And then those guys just opened the door and started shooting us. So after this medical droid said, "Hey, do you need some medical help?" And then he tried to sushi our friend.
So you hear?
Not our fault. All those people died.
Would one of you like to make a social check of some variety to help him?
Yeah, I do.
Oh yeah, I can do that too, guys. We just need to chill and have a drink together.
Ooh, no.
No, there's no drinkers. Everybody likes the right kind of drink.
They absolutely are. That's just probably not going to fix this scenario.
So I'm using coercion.
You're using coercion on a Mandalorian. I have objections on a moral basis.
The other options are just worse.
That's why I asked if anyone wanted to help you.
Yeah, I'm gonna charm these guys.
This seems like I'm like either charm or negotiate.
No,
They
we're just
really
gonna be
nice
buddies.
things in a really mean way.
He's this is a special cat right there. Like, we're clearly in the wrong spots. We don't want to fight you guys. We're just defending ourselves against that. We're following the lead. We have no idea what kind of business you're running down here. We were just hoping that we could figure out where these ICOR 4 abominations are coming from.
Yeah, I'm gonna step out, and then over the comm, I'm gonna be saying, we're part of a TV show, hunting dangerous creatures on the surface. We tracked down a bunch of dangerous creatures, and it turns out that they're from this facility or other facilities like this one. We came
I got
here
a
to
dog.
investigate. Everything I'm saying is the truth, and if you don't want to see it, we're just trying to determine what the fuck is going on with these creatures. They are killing people on the surface, and it's not good for the local wildlife.
Hey, Cracky.
Yeah, these things are abominations.
I'm getting the impression that these guys are criminals. And
They know about it.
You just told them we're filming everything.
I was going to ask a very important question since you had that. Did any of the camera drones fly past this door?
No, they're all inside.
So you haven't filmed the Mandalorians at all, and they haven't seen the drones.
Correct.
All right. Go ahead and roll your social checks. Anyone who made it one of those arguments, and you can roll it against one red and one purple.
Does that include me? Can I do my coercion?
If you want to try to coerce them, you can. But if you fail the check, I'm going to have them come in here and kill the whole party.
Yeah.
Hookers is pretty cool. He just wants to drink with the Mandalorian now.
I'll give you an advantage for that.
Yeah.
That's all
And
I
I
can
guess-
give you.
Yeah, I guess as soon as Craigie said that we were filming, I was like, "Yep, I'm the producer here. We got all the cameras turned off."
Okay.
I
You want
guess that.
you want to add an advantage or make your own little roll?
I was just gonna throw what the supporting evidence thing that I have gives someone an automatic advantage to whatever it's charm, deception, or leadership. So I'm assuming we're not deceiving; we're just charming them.
Crikey, give yourself 2 more boost dice and add it in.
I just read, right?
Roll them and then read. No, not the whole thing. Just the
Oh, shit.
just the added dice. You manually roll them and then you click read. How long have we been doing this, man? All right, so
Yeah, you meant hit R. Yeah. I just read the word roll.
I don't know what your score was before, but you add 1 success, 1 advantage. What was it before?
So 0 success, 1 advantage before.
So you did succeed. Overall, you guys succeeded. Okay, so you hear them talking, and they're like, do we really give a fuck about this place? And then the other guy's like, I don't know, our crates aren't loaded yet, though. Yeah, but like, you can hear this. They're not really like trying to be subtle about it. They're like, but if these guys are rolling through the facility, keeping all of them distraction, we don't have to pay.
Okay, so you just want to loosen your security guard fees?
You misinterpreted that. So they're like, yeah, security guards. That's not what we are.
No. You said you hired security guards, and now you have 3 less to pay.
No, that's not what he said.
No, it's not. You're making the situation actively worse.
Sorry, he's been hitting the hookah too much.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll stay out of your way, you stay out of our way then. We're leaving.
We don't actually want you guys to leave. I'll tell you what. That turbo lift goes down 1 more floor. None of the guards ever go down there because this facility is automated and it doesn't like people going down there. We don't know. We haven't gone down there. But if you go down there, it'll trigger an alarm in the facility. And all these guards are going to try to stop you. If you keep them distracted long enough, we may swing by and talk to you guys again. And then they kind of walk through the door.
Yeah, take that comm link with you.
And they just left.
Be right back, guys.
You hear the sound of a ship starting up.
Are we underground?
There is you don't know that yet. Actually, you probably don't even want to know that.
Seems like we need to go down 1 level. Do we need to
Crikey's-
go now?
Crikey, you got the key to open the doors, right?
Yeah, I took it off the scout survey droid. Got it right here. It's still green.
I got some stim packs. Oh, can I look at those the weapons the cycle guys had?
You guys can have one round worth of whatever you need to do before shit hits the fan and all the doors are going to start opening, because now all these guards are responding to the sound of the people who weren't supposed to be leaving are now leaving. So you're going to end up having to deal with all the guards rushing in.
We should probably go to the turbo lift now.
Yeah.
can't just pick up one of the guns on the ground?
You can try to scoop one up if you want.
I look at the half.
For the record, you're not gonna be able to just get on the elevator and go before the guards show up. It's too far away for you to make it the whole way.
Right.
I didn't let the guard do it either when you were chasing him down earlier, and he was full sprint from the second he left the door. You guys are way slower than that. So you're probably only going to go about this far before the guards start coming.
All right, back.
Nah.
All right. Where's your token at? Did you move with the group? You sure did. Okay, so you guys hear some commotion, and guards come around this corner, and there's a lot of commotion over at the other door. Okay. We're going to use the same order of operations. Guard 1's going to come around the corner, see you guys, and chuck a stun grenade. Okay. So that was targeted at the closest player, which is Gar. That's 8 stun for Gar, but not enough advantage to hit on anyone else. So Gar basically body blocks for the party. That goes against your strain, and your soak does count.
It's
What
the
was it?
dog on the back here.
He was already unconscious, he's just more unconscious.
It was the thunk that really got you.
Okay. And then bad guy number 2 is going to fire his cycler rifle. Or sorry, going to fire his modified pistol carbine thing. And it's going to hit. That is Dane. Oh, that's going to suck. So that is 7 plus 3. So that's 10 damage, Dane.
I at least get my soak right.
You absolutely get your soak.
Alright. Yeah. Oh, that hurt.
Okay. It is now one of the players' turns. You got 3 player turns.
I'd like to shoot back.
I figured you would.
I get this new shotgun.
Uh-huh. It takes a maneuver to prepare each time you fire.
I prepare.
Uh-huh.
You gotta make the noise.
I do. I make the noise right alongside the noise the thing makes. I'm not gonna aim. I'm just gonna fire the motherfucker. What's the difficulty to hit?
These guys are rivals. They are 1 reds.
I scare the piss out of them.
Okay. I will give them a setback. And who's going next? 2 more players. Gar has just opened up with his shotgun and blown a chunk the size of his fist out of the wall behind it.
I'll step over here, so I'll take a maneuver to do that, and
Mhm.
I'll shoot down there. So I won't aim this round, but I will fire down the range. So
Yeah.
there's 1 red.
Yep. Alright, how much damage is that?
I think that's still 15.
You don't have 1 more hidden in there somewhere, huh? Alright, which guy was it?
I'm gonna say it's like the. 1 second, let me get my bearings.
Hmm?
That a guy, yeah.
Okay. Alright, you hit that guy. He falls on his ass. There's blood gushing everywhere, but he sits up and tries to point his rifle very unsteadily towards the party.
Yeah.
1 more player.
I shoot at him.
Okay, 1 red.
Kill steal.
It's one hit point left.
And I guess I'm still standing still, so I take the time to.
Yeah, actually, it's got sights. It's not just guesswork.
I have the wherewithal to actually aim.
There you go.
Uh,
You don't need to do any math. He's dead. He sits back up. Dane puts him back down.
Good shot, Dane.
hey, again, I'm not a complete and utter noob. I'm not great.
Wow, Dane killed a guy with one shot.
Yeah.
It's a team effort. As long as we stay alive.
All right. I believe that's all those guys. So the two baddies in the back are going to go. The first one is going to take aim at Crikey. Oh, I did that backwards. Like that. And Crikey, do you have any range defense?
I don't have any defenses yet.
Oh. Oh. Alright, so this guy pulls the trigger, and his gun starts spitting fire. And it empties the magazine, and he did not intend for that to happen. And the smoke billowing out of the chamber indicates that that gun may have just broken. Crikey, you do take damage because he did successfully hit. It's 8 damage.
He had a black too.
Oh. He had a black from what?
Suppressing fire.
Oh, yeah.
Shotgun.
I forgot about that. Hold on. This may be even worse for him. This is even worse from him. He misses completely. Good call. His smoking rifle is smoldering in his hands. And that brings us to the last baddie. Who also misses. Although his weapon is still functional. Alright. I believe it's Argon and Hooks.
Yep. So I'm just gonna go ahead and sidestep over here past Hooks and take a shot down this direction here.
Okay.
So I'm rolling against, you said 1 red?
Yes.
I am gonna take a aim shot.
Alright. Who are you aiming at and what's your damage?
We'll aim at this guy up in the front right here. And my damage, I didn't critical. I have criticals at 3, so I'm at 6 damage.
6 plus 2, you mean, right? You got 2 successes. So it's weapon damage is 6 plus your 2 successes.
Nope, you're right.
That's
Yes,
8. Yeah. Okay.
Plus, you said it criticals at 3, and you got 3 advantages.
Yes. So that is a critical. All right.
Yeah, 1 critical at 3. Yeah.
8 damage, 1 critical. He rolls a 69. Paching. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. Nope. Oh my god. Wrong button. Wrong button. That was mistakes. I made them. Some mistakes.
2-card critical.
That's right. Ha! Okay. All of those are now trash. And I'll get a new deck. Injuries. Search. That's the button you're looking for. 66 through 70. Scattered Senses. Removes all bonuses from skill checks till the end of the encounter. That actually doesn't do much for you because he doesn't get bonuses. Alrighty. So, but he is hurt, and he does take that 8 damage. I need to put that in. I actually didn't need to adjust that. That was right. Alrighty. So, those both bad guys. So now we need hooks. Do we have more that I missed?
Oh, yeah, it's getting squished. So Hooks is going to take a couple steps towards the door and then turn around and knows he shouldn't use a sniper rifle inside, but that's the only weapon he has. He turns around and tries to sniper rifle the guy that just got blasted.
Okay. You're in short range with this sniper rifle.
Yeah, I know it's a bad idea.
Okay.
So is shooting that giant shotgun, apparently.
Valid. All that's valid.
It's weird. You should shoot guns that you're capable of shooting in the appropriate circumstances.
Yeah, I found a new shotgun and was excited. I said, hey, I'm going into a small spot. I can use a
The
shotgun.
shotgun was bigger than you were.
It's 3 purples and a red.
You got it. You got it right.
I'm going to take some stress and aim at him, too.
I take it all back. How much damage is that?
9 damage.
Which guy was it?
The one that got shot by the other one.
Okay.
Argon.
Is
It's also Pierce 3.
There we go. That's what I needed. Okay. That's actually more Pierce than he has Soak. You said it was 9?
Correct.
Got it by 1. Got it by 2 points. Boom.
Shot, no scope. 360.
You did use your scope, and it wasn't 360, but I get the impression. That's actually really good. Alright, so, there's only 2 baddies left, and there's only 2 baddie slots before all the players get to go, so let's see how this all plays out. Alright. Up, up, up. They get to summon reinforcements. I take it back. Alright, players can go.
Who wants it?
I'm gonna shoot again. If I didn't hit him last time, it's really pissing me off.
Do it.
I make the sound louder this time.
I feel like you're going to turn around and Hooks is going to be running down the hallway so he can get a better shot.
Just put more emphasis in it. Chick.
Yeah, and I aimed this time. I did take 2 strain.
Ins and motherfucker this time. Chick, motherfucker.
There might be a motherfucker said.
Oh.
For advantage.
I'm going to, damn it, I can't, I've already used 2 maneuvers, so I can't move.
I feel like he wants to take that gun and turn it into a club now. Alright, so, I can put 2 setbacks on those, or you can pass on to boost the next player. Okay, 2 setbacks. Alrighty, so that makes it one of the other players' turns. I got 2 more players that need to go before the 2 baddies get to go.
I mean, I'll go. I'll shoot. I'm not going to move, so I'm going to aim, and I'm going to hit this infiltrator, hopefully. That's who I'm aiming at. So he was a red and a purple. The infiltrator.
No, he's just red. I think they're all just 1 red. Unless you want to run further down the hallway and get to medium range.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Aw, you were totally robbed.
Totally robbed. That's okay.
How much?
17 damage.
17
Okay,
damage
sir.
by 1 point is just enough to do that.
Nice. His head explodes.
All right. One more player.
I'll go. I'll go and take a shot at this guy right here, the cycler rifleman.
Yeah. Well, your trusty DL-44 has done you pretty good so far.
That's right. And so you said they're 1 red, right?
Yep.
And we are going to, of course, aim.
Nice. Holy shit, 5 advantage. Alright, so I'm assuming you're going to critical. That's going to be 3 of your advantage. You have 2 advantage left. How would you like to spend that?
So we got a success in there too, right?
Yep. You got 2 successes, but that's... I'm already calculating your weapon damage. You did 7 damage. 8 damage.
Oh, 8 damage, yeah.
No, you got 1 success. It's 7.
That's the critical. And then the advantage, end up shooting at this guy and ends up one of the rounds actually bounce off him and kind of daze one of the other guys behind him.
Alright, I'll throw a setback on that guy. That's 2 of them with a setback. And I need to roll a critical. This critical is a 50. Headringer. Target increases difficulty of all intellect and cunning checks by 1. Once again, not super useful. But it's still critical. And it makes him that much closer to dying. So, baddies 1 and 2. So baddie 2 is dead. Baddie 1 is going to get to go his turn, but he gets 2 setbacks. And he is going to take a shot. That ended up being Dane. And take a shot at Dane. It's the green hat. It's very visible.
That bucket hat.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Alright, so Lobos. 2 setbacks. He misses. 2 advantages. Dane, on your turn, you're going to take a setback on whatever action you do.
Alright, I might just be running. I'll trip as I run towards the door.
Okay. It is whoever the last 2 players to go are. I think it's Hooks and Dane.
Yep.
Hooks is going to sprint as far as he can down the hallway.
Okay. I'll let you get to medium range, but you only have line of sight on this one guy right now.
Then I'm going to slide. No, I can't slide. I don't got the knees.
Who's carrying the remote for the doors? That's Crikey, right?
Yeah.
Yes, me.
The door doesn't open, so I turn around and shoot the guy.
Okay. Medium range. You're firing through allies, so you get a setback for that.
Medium range is 1 red, 2 purples, 1 setback.
Well, you didn't shoot any of your good guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard shot to line up after running a good 15 feet.
Yep. Breathing heavy. Dane, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna be similar to Hooks, and I'm gonna start running.
Dane, I'm flipping a dark side point. You notice the light on this door turn green as you're running away.
Alright. I'll just make it as far as I can. I'll shout, "Oh shit, people coming from the other side too," and I will point my blaster towards here and wait for it to open. Is that... I can hold action and shoot whatever the hell comes through this door, right?
I'll shoot the lock.
good call. I'll shoot the lock.
All right, give me a 1 purple check. You shoot the lock. The door doesn't open. That's what you wanted, though.
Correct.
The sound of the engine roar in the hangar next to this wall gets much louder. And we're top of the round. These 2 reinforcement baddies are going to come out here. The first one's going to come out swinging and chuck a grenade. He seems to have a bandolier full of grenades. And he's got 1 in each hand. And, there it is. It's not a stun grenade.
Do they still have 2 blacks?
No, it's the guy with 2 blacks already went, didn't he?
I have no idea.
I think he did. I think that was the guy that missed Dane.
Did we already use their setbacks?
Yeah. So the setbacks only go to 1 person. They don't go to like the whole group. Unless they're a minion group, in which case they do go to everyone, but they still only get 1 turn. So it's effectively for 1 roll. Same thing with boosts. So that's that. That turns into that. And that. Okay. The guy throws a frag grenade. It literally hits Gar in the chest, falls to the ground, and for a second, Gar's like, fuck! But it doesn't go off. He forgot to pull the pin.
Pin still in it?
Pin's still in it.
You should grab it and throw it back.
Yeah, I would like to reach down, grab it with my other hand that is not holding the giant shotgun, pull the pin and tell him that he dropped it and give it back to him.
You can do that in just 1 more turn. I gotta let the other guy go first.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'll forget. He actually hits. Who is he shooting? Graybeard. He's shooting at Argon. And he hits for 10 damage. So you need to subtract your soak from 10, and then add that to your red ticker up here.
Okay, soak from 10, so soak was 3, right?
Yep.
So that gives me 7.
Yep. And then you take 7 wounds, which is your red ticker. When the red ticker's number matches your wound threshold, you are unconscious and take a critical.
Gotcha, so we are at red ticker is 7.
Alrighty. Now you may give the man his grenade back. You may give him back his bomb.
You're so nice.
Yep. It's a light ranged attack.
Difficulty?
It's 1 red.
Forgot to pull the pin.
You got the pin 90% of the way out. Throws it right back at him. The 2 guards behind this guy, they look at each other like, did this shit just happen? Are they playing hot potato with a grenade?
Oh dear.
Alrighty. Next player. Got 2 more player turns before the rest of the bad guys get to go.
Who's going?
I got a sniper rifle and I see a grenade hit the floor. Can I snipe that grenade?
Yes, you could try to do that.
Everybody's looking at each other like, oh, yeah, you're playing hot potato. It just blows up when he shoots it.
I mean, it will. I will do grenade damage. And if he rolls any advantage, I'll have it hit the whole group.
Is a grenade red?
So grenade's a really tiny object. Technically, you'd normally upgrade the check. But you've got a really awesome scope, so I'm just going to say it's the same check as shooting the person.
Okay. I'm still shooting through a bunch of allies.
Yes. Don't despair. Holy shit. Okay, so you scope in on the grenade, and then a hand scoops it up, and he rears it back after pulling the pin, and he's gonna throw it, and then you shoot it, and it's right next to his head, and now pretty much his hand from the elbow up and his head don't exist anymore. She didn't get enough damage.
Find red mist.
Yeah, that's well, it's smoke. Like it's not even mist. All his other grenades ripple off too, so there's like chunks of infiltrator that get thrown all the way back to where Dane is. These guys are just covered in gore.
They're friends.
Okay, that's all 3 players, right? So we should have 2 players that still need to go, and I think it's Dane and Crikey.
Yep, haven't gone yet.
Okay. So the one bad guy gets to go first. Let me roll his fortitude check. That was a pretty graphic bitch that just happened. He failed that like a motherfucker. This guy bolts back through this door. And this guy turns like, I'm gonna come with... Oh, shit, he locked it. So, now Crikey or Dane can go.
Right, I'm gonna end it for this guy. Still one red?
Yep.
I haven't moved, so I'm gonna aim.
Sounds good. Oh.
Bloody hell.
So that kills him. This door opens. And these guys come out shooting.
I'm sorry.
Don't forget you have a fuck ton of light side tokens over here, because I've now used all of mine. Also, I'm going to take a quick bio break. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Guys, what do we do?
I think
I'm standing by the exit door.
Yeah, we gotta move. I keep not moving.
I've been trying to work towards the exit as well.
Well, this guy right here is the one gone the way of the dodo, right?
He's about to die.
Yeah.
This sniper got away. But we need to head to the turbo lift.
Yeah. I have a feeling that I'll light side and say that one of the explosions, all the other grenades over here, one of them just somehow happened to roll up to my feet. I'm like, oh, look what I found. And I'm throwing it in the middle of these fuckers.
Yeah. So Hook, it looks like you're in a bad spot all of a sudden with your sniper rifle, huh?
Anything's possible.
Alright, I has returned.
right. So I think, is it my turn or are these guys automatically shooting?
If you haven't had your turn yet, it's your turn.
Okay. Yeah, remember when the hooks shot that grenade and it caused an explosion?
Yeah.
Can I use a light side token to say that one of the grenades that was just sitting over here somehow rolled up to my feet?
Sure. That's a great use of a light side token.
Alright, so with that grenade now at my feet, as I'm standing here trying to maintain some sort of composure, I look down, I'm like, oh, this looks useful. And we'll see if I'm better than anybody, or better than the rest of the team at pulling the pin.
Okay.
I'm aiming just square in the middle.
All right. Make a 1 red light range check.
You can't really aim grenade throws, can you?
Sure you can.
Oh, alright. Aha.
Okay. How would you like to spend your triumph?
Let's see, so triumph means that the grenade explosion is definitely triggered. Can the explosion go into the door and then get the door jammed shut yet again?
Could, yeah. So, I think the triumph might be worth a little bit more than that. We'll say that it definitely wipes out the first guy and causes the second guy's stun grenades to go off. So the explosion kills these two and renders these two unconscious.
Nice.
Guys, I did the thing.
Gore, man.
I'm becoming slightly more competent in battle.
The sound of a ship departing from the hangar can be heard through the wall.
I think we've distracted the guards for those Mandalorians. I have a feeling those Mandalorians were not doing good things.
Hey, this door's still closed. Are we going down to the next level?
We can say that we did. Again, we
I mean, that's the whole point of coming down here, is looking for ICOR 4 stuff. These guys are ICOR 4.
yeah. Can we look at any of the uniforms or
Sure.
the uniforms still visible?
Each one of those guys, so remember, the two of these guys are just unconscious, not dead. They're all wearing padded armor. They're all carrying modified heavy blaster pistols that are the stats of a heavy blaster pistol, but they use range heavy instead of range light. They have a stock attached to them. And each of them has, if they haven't expended it, 2 grenades.
But no, like ICOR 4 markings on the uniforms or anything.
You can roll perception checks if you want to examine their uniforms.
Yep, that's what I want to do. It's like, what's happening? What is down here? Aside from vents that we cannot get into.
What kind of secret facility has a vent I can't crawl through?
Difficulty?
Difficulty's 2 purples.
Make it easier for someone else to look at that?
You can pass on a boost if you want.
Like, I don't quite know what's happening, but I think if you look at this way, you might figure something out.
One of them is wearing slightly different gear. Alright, who's next?
We're just examining bodies. Yeah, you want one with a little bit more.
I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, that was my thoughts of what the hell is happening down here.
Is this door over here closed? Or are we just going down the next ladder?
So part of his triumph was that door closed. There is still a person inside. That door is really fucked up right now. Like, there's panels hanging off and wires sparking and...
Is there the obligatory talk to panel on both sides?
No, there's nothing electronic left intact on that door.
Oh no. Yeah, I'll take a look at a uniform, see if I can piece together some ICOR 4 logos, or see if somebody has a data pad on them.
Okay, looking specifically for a data pad would be a 1 purple check.
How thick is the door?
Normal. Regular bulkhead.
So, like, if you had a shotgun that did piercing damage when it was really close to something,
Yes, you would go through.
I'd
Is
like
the
to
door
try to-
messed up to the case where you can actually see through it? Like, through a crack or something?
I mean, yeah, it's messed up where the point where there would be, like, gaps. And there is a guy hiding behind a console with his rifle leveled at that door.
I'm gonna tell him to put down his gun, or when I get this door open, I'm going to take the gun from him and beat him with it until he ceases functioning.
Give yourself a coercion check. 2 purples.
I got a 1-0.
That's good enough. He's like, shit, I don't get paid enough for this, man. I'm putting my gun down. I don't have any problem with you guys.
You might want to back away from the door. It's gonna open violently.
He's far enough away. He's also behind a console.
I start cutting the door open with a shotgun.
It works surprisingly well for that. I mean, it's going to take forever, but it will work.
Therapeutic too. I haven't been able to hit shit all night with this thing.
Argon,
I ain't missing now.
Crikey, what you guys doing?
Well, I was gonna go to the turbo lift, but as he's putting holes into the door, can I walk up to the door and just trigger it open?
No, because you missed the part where he not just shot, he obliterated it with grenades. Like this whole thing's barely hanging on.
Right before I got here.
Yeah.
I'm just helping it.
So I'm just gonna remind Guy that we still have to take the turbo lift down. Maybe
Greg-
this guy inside knows what's down there.
I'm a mechanic, Crikey. I'm opening a door with tools.
Oh, yeah, it's good. You're making strides. It's nice.
And yeah, I got that guy to surrender. He put his gun down and everything.
I'll help you get through the door.
Can we keep him?
Now,
Why not?
he says he doesn't get paid enough. I'm not paying him to do nothing either.
What? Why not?
Yeah, no, we don't have enough money to pay this other person.
But he's a security guard. We don't have a security guard.
I thought you guys were roughly security guards.
Yeah, pretty
No, we're
much.
hunters. We hunt things. It's different.
Right, he put his gun down, right?
Yep, sure did. He looks pretty afraid.
Confiscate that.
Okay, it's a slug thrower rifle.
Why don't you tell me what's down one floor?
We're not allowed to go down one floor. It's the droids run it. The guy who hired us to guard the facility said that if we went down there, we'd get killed.
So you have no idea what's down there?
I know there's a bunch of droids. We didn't actually get a name. It's just an account number. It's someone who goes by the name The Collector.
Alright, wait, what's on these consoles here?
I mostly use them to play games. There's all sorts of research on the databanks, though. Genetic stuff. I don't understand it.
Hey, Hook, You want to check this stuff out?
Yeah, I'm looking at one right now. Hey, ask him about that medical droid.
That medical droid back there.
It conveyed with the facility. It does cybernetic enhancements to animals, and then they get taken by the Wanderer droids up the turbo lift. Some of them were put in cases and cages, and that's what the Mandalorians were here to pick up.
They got a genetically modified creature, a designed one.
Yeah, they put cybernetic enhancements in them so they can be controlled like droids.
Jesus Christ.
Do we have any that are alive that we can actually start controlling?
Their cases, the Mandalorians might have left some, but I kind of doubt it.
It's just not right. We don't want to do that.
There might be more downstairs.
Can I look through the computers for ICOR 4 records?
Sure. Can you give me a 2 purple computers check?
What kind of games are on here, mate?
There are hundreds of thousands of ICOR 4 records. He's got Imperial Stormtrooper 5. And
That game sucks.
TIE Fighter, the original.
Super unrealistic because they always hit their targets.
Yeah. It's an Imperial propaganda piece, but it's fun as shit. The Gungan level's amazing.
Wait, there's a level you can shoot Gungans on?
Oh, yeah. You just gotta put in the right cheat code. Here, let me show you.
It's like the cow level from
Yes.
Well, I'm going to be shooting Gungans for a few minutes. That sounds amazing.
Yep, it is. It's very satisfying.
Hey, we still have that data page with the virus on it. Can we upload the virus to knock all this data out?
No, that's in the
Do it in
link.
the river.
Yeah.
I said, are you sure? And he said yes.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to sit down and start writing a virus.
That's going to be a 5 red check.
I'm going to flip a light side token.
It's going to be a 4 red check.
Damn it, bro.
Can I look through the history and see like when these files are being written?
Sure. I mean, when I say there's hundreds of thousands of files, you said, are there any ICOR 4 files?
Yeah. I went with the big bad choice. I'm now trying to narrow my things. I said, cool, I found data. Now let me start applying filters to figure out what's the best things. I want to see who last touched these files.
Okay.
It's going to be me because I found them. Son of a gun.
Well, that takes away my first gotcha. So the files were last touched last time the system used them. It appears that this entire facility is automated and is working off remote control. It also appears that there are many other facilities like it on this planet.
Can I find some kind of signature for who set it up?
I mean, you can and you can't. You're looking for, hey, I want the target to go after, and I can tell you right now, you're not going to find that. But it was set up by ICOR 4 employees when, like, this is a ICOR 4 facility, and these are programs that were installed when the facility was being used for its original purpose. But you are making many assumptions you should not be making about who, what, when, where, why.
Alright, we've been playing video games with this guy for a little while.
Mhm.
Say, hey, when we came in here, you said you weren't paid well enough for this shit. Who pays you?
So like I said, it's that account number from the collector. We were a mercenary troop, and we were just providing anti-piracy for cargoes and for cargo ships, and our cargo ship that we were guarding kind of got stole out of port, and then we were stuck here. And then this mysterious guy said, hey, I'll pay you to guard one of my facilities. And I mean, it wasn't a bad gig when nobody was attacking the place. Every once in a while, we get scary motherfuckers like that Mandalorian group coming through, but they'd come in and they'd pay their money and then they'd leave.
Right.
It wasn't a totally bad deal until you guys killed everyone.
I mean, they shot at us first.
You're making like crazy fucking monsters, guy. Do you have any idea how many people up top you're killing? Lots.
It's a hunting preserve.
Yeah, but these things are taking down vehicles,
Yeah,
like civilian vehicles.
when you introduce a non-native species, it becomes invasive, and then it starts ripping apart the actual wildlife that lives there. We've got to be careful with the wildlife that lives out there, mate. There's some beautiful things out there. You're changing them.
I'm glad you have the ability to, take such moral high ground, but I gotta eat, and I'm just a guard.
Do you speak Jawa?
No. Who speaks Jawa?
I don't know. I don't speak Jawa. I got in a lot of trouble for eating one's hand. I gave it back to him too. He was just really sensitive.
So if these animals are actually being modified cybernetically so that they be controlled remotely like robots, who's controlling the ones upstairs?
Well, obviously they are able to give a remote to them. So the ones upstairs are probably not being controlled.
Yeah, they definitely come in different flavors.
Until they get taken over.
But they definitely come in different flavors too. I mean, some of them are just experiments. Like, not all of them live either.
So your paycheck, mate, it doesn't have like an address or anything like that of your employer who signs your paychecks?
It's
the account.
It's just a credit account, yeah.
Oh, you mind giving me the credit account number anyway? Maybe I can start tracking some stuff down.
Yeah, would I have run across anything with that credit account in any of my legal backstory?
No.
Okay.
So he's going to be reluctant to hand over the credit. Because what you're actually asking is, can you hand over the mercenary company's credit information? He's just a guard. He's like, I could give you access to my personal account.
Listen, buddy. I don't know how to tell you this, but I don't think you work for them anymore.
Yeah, but I don't have access to the company's account. I could only give you my account.
Well, that makes sense. Where's your finance office?
Yeah, I was just assuming there were tax forms or something like that. But if that's not the route to go,
Mercenaries? No, they get paid through anonymous hut accounts. You could try to follow this up that way if you really, really wanted to try to follow the paper trail. He'll give you his personal account number if you want to go that way.
Yeah, I don't think that's really the way to go.
It's possible. It actually plays to your strengths, Dane.
Yeah.
To go that way.
Yeah, I feel like it might not be the most entertaining of tabletop sessions to play.
right, Hook. Do you think you could use these computers to maybe redo the robots downstairs?
Or
Can you see what protocol they're working on? If they're working on like mist cats or some crazy shit like that, maybe we can turn it down and say, hey, only one claw per paw. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me look at it and see if I can overwrite the commands that were in place for hundreds of years.
Just give it a new program.
Not hundreds, but it's definitely been decades. So, there are some commands you could override, and there are others that you can't. What you could do is assign all of you employee identifications so that security wouldn't see you as an intruder.
Yeah, it says here that, oh no, it doesn't say here, but it looks like they're hiring. I need badge IDs. Let me see if I can print those out for everybody. We'll just walk around downstairs and see what's going on.
It's a relatively simple check, so you do your 2 purple check to print your IDs out. mean, it prints 5 IDs.
Yeah, these definitely. Oh no, we need a 6th one for the cycle guy. Are you coming with us?
I'm not going down there.
Oh man.
Is it just a simple put down or put the floor in on the elevator to go down there?
Yeah, you can hit a button and just go down there. That's not the issue.
Maybe you should send one of these scout survey droids there.
Oh man, that'd be a good idea. Let's like cut out the insides where it keeps the things and just drive that thing around like it's a tank.
I don't think it's big enough for all that, but we could put a camera back on it. Let's just see what's down there without risking our necks.
That's not gonna work.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't override one of these droids.
If you want to go ahead and try to make the things to hack them, yeah. Like, it was a pretty big deal. It took a triumph to find the one that you did the way you did. They're basically all these checks you've been making over in the computer room. That's to control these things anyway. You're basically asking to do the same thing you've been failing at doing so far.
Hey, do you have a weapon station down here?
No,
Armory?
not really. The facility didn't really have a whole lot of amenities to it.
Where do you guys get your grenades from?
We brought them with us.
All right. Do you have any grenades on you?
I have 2 stun grenades.
I'm gonna take those.
And just FYI, you probably got promoted. Where you going with me, mate?
I'm gonna. Oh wait, sorry. I thought that was me. I'm gonna take some more grenades. I'm gonna pick up all the grenades I can find.
Okay. You find 4 additional stun grenades. You basically have a bag of grenades now.
Are there any more down here?
There's a chain detonation over there. There's a lot of Gibbs over there.
Yep, I figured.
Okay, I'm gonna grab this guy by the ear, and I'm gonna take him with us. We're going down the turbo lift, mate.
Oh, no, we don't want to go down there. There's bad things down there.
Can I knock on the door here and be like, hey, do you have any grenades in there?
I mean, you can, if you want to go through that interaction.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell him, like, look, I don't have to kill you, you don't have to die, but I need some grenades, and I just don't have enough.
I don't have any go away.
I don't believe you. Like, all of you had grenades, and you ran off without shooting at anyone, so it kind of seems like you would have grenades.
And this guy, I'm gonna say, hey, look, me and your ear are going down that turbo lift. You can come with us if you want to.
God damn. Can I have my gun back at least?
I have it, and I'm gonna offer it to him when we get down there.
Okay.
Well, the other guy didn't want to come. He wouldn't give me his grenades either.
He's a spoiled spurt.
Yeah, I think we'll kill him when we come back up.
I think we're probably gonna die when we get down there.
Oh, hey, Hookers, can I get a stim pack?
Yeah, amongst that chatter, I gave myself a stim pack. It's I get strain recovery too with a stim pack? Or is it just 5 health?
It's just health.
Okay.
Unless you've already used one this session, and then it's 4 health.
Yeah, no. That was my first one, somehow.
The elevator slides down to the bottom. A envoy droid, which is a very expensive protocol style droid with a little bit more free will, stops and looks at you guys and says, "You are not authorized to be here. Please leave."
I show him my card and say, like, oh man, come on. It's just, I printed out these out and it says we're new employees.
I slip out from behind Hookers and just blast it into oblivion.
Okay. You blast the envoy droid.
Did I misread that?
Yeah, you totally can do that.
I may have misread that. I'm sorry if I did.
Murder hobo.
I was just waiting for him to I was assuming it was one of those. No, you're not authorized for this part of the facility, and then the alarms are just called, and I wanted to avoid that.
I have a feeling that once we open this door here, alarms are going off regardless.
Wait. What's in this room?
So that depends on how much time you guys spend looking around. So if you want to take several minutes, everyone roll me. Well, if you want to look for something specific, I'll give you an easier check, but it's going to be a 2 red and 1 purple perception check if you just want to do a flat let's look around the room.
Can I get on those stations that he came out of? Looks like computer stations.
You can try to. They're mainly designed for droid interface, but there are a few things that if you had a data pad, you could plug it in.
Hey, can I borrow a data pad? I threw mine in the lake, guys.
Didn't you ask for one earlier, and we were like, no, not after what you did to the last one.
Yeah, new guy. Can I have your data pad?
Does the robot have any remains of a data pad on it?
No, the robot is a data pad. Well, he was before he was shrapnel.
So specifically, I'm looking at to see what these are. Are these
I'm
like
gonna look for a data pad.
storage?
2 purple perception for those.
Um,
1 purple perception for the data pad.
are these? As I roll my cursor over this, I see bioscanners.
I got 3.
You found a data pad.
Wow, that's a good roll.
Um,
Found a data pad with 5 terabytes of
so
awesome stuff on it.
would you like a pretty awesome data pad? Should I go dig one of those up?
Can I have a pretty awesome data pad and a really shitty data pad that I give to him?
Yes. You give
Just give him
you-
your old one.
you give him a really shitty data pad.
It's got like next to you poop on it.
Thanks, man.
Its screen is all like gunked up, like a kid has been using it.
Oh, the space bar is stuck. Wow,
There's
no.
a jelly bean shoved in the headphone jack.
Meanwhile, the one I have is holographic, and
There's gonna be
Really help with this check.
there's gonna be several things we're gonna have to go over here in a second. So first and foremost, with your triumph, who has a breath mask on?
None of us.
Who has a breath mask on their person?
I do.
I do.
Okay.
I think I do.
These are the things that... What the shit just happened? What the fuck just happened?
What?
What the fuck just happened? I had 3 cards in my hand, and then I tried to take them over top of Ghost Space, and now I only have 1 card left, and the other 2 have just disappeared into the nether. And I don't know where the fuck they went.
Huh.
There's a breath mask and a really awesome data pad. What the fuck just happened? I hate to have to do that whole fucking thing over again because of that. That's so stupid. Also completely derailed my chain of thought, which is really important right now. So first and foremost, the room is running out of oxygen. Security protocols have kicked in, and you guys are probably going to suffocate if you don't figure something out right the F now. That's what its triumph is going to tell you. Shooting the droid is probably a bad tactical choice. So that's number 1. Number 2. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so now it's just magically showing up. So weird. Okay, here are the 3 things you found before things go completely off the rails again. The bioscanners look like they are for doing exactly what they sound like. They scan biological creatures or things that are brought down here. They look like they're set up to give you a full genetic sequence of something. The crates on the right-hand side are stasis pods that blatantly have animals inside of them.
Shit.
Probably highly cybernetic stasis pods. But the oxygen running out of the room is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, is that killing these creatures too?
The creature,
Just-
they're in stasis.
Yeah, okay.
Let's get on the lift and get the fuck out of here, guys.
I turn around with a breath mask on and I say, I think the oxygen is leaving the room.
Yeah, I can put a breath mask on somebody else. I had a spare. If anybody needs one.
I hand the shitty data pad to Hookers and tell him to turn the oxygen back on.
I put on my breath mask and try to hack into try to interface with this to turn the oxygen back on.
Does everyone now have a breath mask then?
I think I'm wearing Crikey's spare one.
Yep. If you need one, here it is.
What about Argon?
Yeah, I don't have one.
Just sitting there gasping for air? Also, the guard turning blue.
I'm gonna flip a light side point and pull a breath mask out of the guard's backpack.
And then give it to Argon.
Give it to Argon, yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Thank you.
I throw the guard in one of the stasis pods.
Okay.
Cold-blooded.
Well, he's in one of the stasis pods. Technically, he'll live. He's going to wake up with a Nexu, but he'll live.
Yeah. I'm waking up next to many Nexu.
All right. At this point, the room is completely deprived of oxygen. Those of you with breath masks on can live and breathe, but it's not comfortable.
Alright,
Alright, what
are we
happens
trying
if
to
we-
find down here?
If we hit this door, will it pop? Is it pressurized now?
So
Let's not find out just yet.
that door has a security lockdown on it. The turbo lift also now has a security lockdown on it. And Hookers is trying to hack his way out of it.
Give him hail hook.
It's a 1 red, 2 purple check.
So anybody else want to look over my shoulder?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you know that that first password was written on a post-it note. Remember?
Oh man, so we should look around for it.
Well, maybe we could use that same password that was on the post-it.
Oh, that's a good idea. Let's try number
hold on.
1.
Can I flip a light side point and turn my good data pad over and there's a password on the back of it?
It won't instantly pass the check, but you can upgrade Hookers' check.
Yeah, that's fine. I flip it over and be like, hey, try this.
Also, I think that good data pad gives you bonuses to certain types of checks.
It doesn't say it does.
It doesn't. We're gonna call it the right tool for the job though, and give you 2 boosts. All right. With 3 successes, you manage to turn the air back on and unlock the lockdown. You have 4 advantages. What would you like to use those for?
Can I remove any security programs I think I'm running into?
You can remove 2 security programs.
Excellent. So I'm in this one. Are there cameras in the facilities? Can I access any of those?
There are basic cameras in the facilities. I mean, long story short, what you end up seeing in here is that there's these really big tanks of some goo that is blatantly leaking and the maintenance droids are trying to clean up. Comes in different flavors, and it seems to be taken over to this strange machinery along with Nexu Cubs, and the goop and the Nexu Cubs are put in machines, and then they're taken to the other stations where they are modified, and then they're put in crates. And you don't know what these back things do because you don't see them get used the whole time. Also, there are really big droids with strange markings, but they are much newer than everything else, and they don't look like anything else there.
Yeah, well, something's happening inside here. We
Build
can...
an army of these abominations, mate.
Well, why did only 3 make it out? Where are these
What do
going?
you mean 3 made it out? They probably take more than 3 up. 3 just escaped somehow.
We had 3 and empty cages, and that's what led us into here.
Well, they sold them to the Mandalorians, mate.
Sold some to the Mandalorians. Remember how we also ran into other Nexu out in the field, not just the 3 at the far end?
Yeah, this was just regular Nexu, though.
So in here, if you're in the system now, you can see some, like this terminal doesn't have total permissions, but it has enough permissions for you to figure out that the Mandalorians are far from their only customers. As a matter of fact, the Mandalorians are just new ones who placed a relatively small order. And that the ones that are released to the surface are generally experiments that they're done with. So when they try a new configuration, they let it in the wild to see how it does.
Anything in that system that says the goo is flammable or explodes?
There is no significant data on that system about the biological effects or genealogy stuff. It would stand to reason that would be a different system that you could get access to, though.
Can we become employees from this system? Is this a better
You can't
access here?
become employees, but you could try to lower the security level of the floor to see if that would help you at all. If you want to flip a light side token, I'll give you one other bit of information.
Yeah, flip it over.
How many did we flip recently?
I think you guys have flipped 2.
Yeah, I never flipped mine, really. It still would have been 4 reds.
Oh, so you didn't actually do it. Okay.
No.
Okay. So there is schematics. You don't know if it's been used or not, but there are schematics for injecting whatever the green goo is directly into a Rancor while it's alive. Like there's a backpack it can wear, and there's significant data on what would happen to a Rancor if it were injected with that, and none of it's good stuff.
Like it's bad in that it kills it, or bad in that it turns it into the Hulk.
That second one.
I want some green stuff.
Does it say anything about like allergens or ways to stop it?
Once it's started using it, it can't stop using it. If it runs out, it'll die.
Oh yeah, never mind. I don't want it.
How long does it last?
Also, the different chemical combinations they have are for different species, and if, say, Gar were to start just drinking this stuff, it would almost certainly kill him.
I wouldn't drink it. I'd inject it directly into my bloodstream.
And die.
Gar's not stupid.
No, not at all. What was the other question?
Oh, how long does it last? Like once it's injected, how long does it last before you need to have another dose?
It depends on the subject, just like any other drug. Alright, and the last thing you can do at this terminal is you can unlock this door if you'd like.
Can we take the stasis away? Can we unlock these storage boxes in here?
The storage boxes are independent; they're not remote controlled. You could start opening the stasis boxes, but you'd have to do it by hand.
Tracking.
Yeah, I am recommending that we don't open that door.
I mean, we can unlock it.
I think that what all else are we trying to gain from down here?
Well, I wanted to destroy everything down here.
Yeah, we gotta save all the Nexu. Like, that's clearly throwing off the balance of the planet.
It might be. I have a good feeling that if we open that door, we're gonna get killed, but that's me. Because they've already turned off the air once down here because we're down here, and the former employee that we'll never see him again. We shoved him in a station.
He'll be all right. He'll be okay.
Yeah.
Hey, he's got a comfy pillow in there.
You ever see
Looking for little
Futurama?
Look at the little guy. He's snoozing. He's gonna wake up in like 100 years with a Nexu.
Yeah.
Sure.
Become a delivery man, have a fling with a Cyclops. He'll do the whole thing.
Yeah, but he was very adamant that only droids ever come down here, so I have a feeling that they make this place not very habitable for organics.
Yeah, well, they'll ship him off to a Mandalorian somewhere.
Except they have hundreds of Nexu cubs in there. Those Nexu cubs need life and air.
True, but they're also being bred specifically. And I have a feeling that the security is set up to make sure that we can't get into that right now.
I like the idea of trying to sneak around in there and open up all the pods.
I don't like that idea too, just to make some chaos. But I don't see or think of a way that we can destroy this facility in one foul swoop with the current shit that I've got. We can come back here with some major explosives, though.
I got a bag of grenades.
They're stun grenades, though.
They still make sparks.
Maybe there's nothing explosive.
Yeah, it's all droids down here. We need ion grenades.
Yeah, but there's barrels of stuff over there. Something's got to be flammable.
That's a separate system. We can go check if we want to go out there.
Also, can I lower the danger level? No, what'd you say?
Security level.
Yeah, make it level 2 instead of level 3.
Yeah, you can bring it all the way down if you want.
Yeah, this is now just a regular facility because again, you said it's just droids down there. They only follow their programming.
Okay. I still think it's a bad idea. I think we should go back out.
Can you remote control the cage controls?
No.
Ooh, that looked tough.
It's a standalone system intentionally. It does have a very obvious cage control thing though.
I'm gonna run in there, smack the cage controls, and run back out.
You gonna run from the hundreds of tiny predators?
Yeah.
Are you gonna actually do it?
Nah, it's a terrible idea.
Wouldn't it be better to just pop the door open for a second and shoot the cage controls, and then close the door again?
Yeah, well, right now it says we're at 0 security level, so maybe we should just walk in there. Because the other droids just walked right past us. They were trying to pick things up.
Nice. You said we're at 0 security level? Yeah.
Yeah.
I pop the door open. Take one.
One small step for man.
Things are moving around, but they're not paying particular attention to you. You would notice, just to reiterate, that there's 2 distinct varieties of droids in here. The big ones over here are newer, bigger, and look completely different, and seem to have a lot of communications and intelligence gear. You probably spotted on the cameras that there are other droids that are blatantly armed security droids. They seem inactive at the moment, but they're also newer.
Yeah, see, it's just like I said, we gotta make sure we... oh, no, wait, this one's an old one. And those are older droids. I think we gotta stay away from the new droids. But we're pretty sneaky. We can make it
That
through.
is a badass assassin droid. I like the way he looks.
I like them too. They're from one of the Jedi Academy games.
The offset head.
Yep. They are actually pretty dangerous too. I don't think that's a big news flash though.
Right, so if we open the Nexu cage, the Nexu gets shot, we get shot. It doesn't actually stop them from doing what they're doing, because they'll just get more Nexu. We can't destroy this facility, in one foul swoop right now. We know that. So I think this risk is bigger than any reward we're going to get out of this.
What if we opened all the stasis cages?
Yes, it's still a terrible idea. They're not going to lose any product. It's just going to set them back for a little bit.
No,
We're risking our lives.
No. Those things in the stasis cages are able to take out vehicles. At least some of them can. They won't wake up right away. So as long as we don't aggro right away and get a couple opened, then we leave. This solves itself.
I'm down here to destroy the abominations, not create more problems for ourselves.
Are you guys standing in place having this conversation or wandering around while you're doing it?
I never
Yeah,
went back through the door.
We're standing at the door.
Yeah.
So I think I'm with Dane. We can go get a bomb. We come back. We blow it up. I feel better about that.
Okay.
Go for that.
Hook, you have anything to say?
Yeah, can I? So we got 3 stations right here, right? Are these full?
You have 5 right there.
5.
There's
Yeah,
2. They're stacked. Yeah,
Oh,
and yeah, all of those are occupied.
Can we see what's inside of them?
There are cybernetically modified Nexu inside of them. In stasis.
Do
There
they
any
have the
instruction
control?
manual? Yeah.
Do they have control things for them?
They don't
Pick
have
'em up.
so they don't have specific control units for them, but obviously they were meant to be controlled somehow.
You didn't find that in the database upstairs, huh?
I'm gonna check my data pad.
So there's no specific instructions on how to do the connections. That's not something from the terminals you hacked you would have. You would know that data must exist in this facility somewhere, because they're implanting the control chip, or at least the medical droid that you blew apart was. So it must exist here somewhere, but it's not in the information that you currently have.
Go back upstairs and try to find it.
There's a bunch of stuff about this facility that you don't yet understand.
I thought we were getting that information from the... I guess Hook didn't roll well enough, huh?
Well, he got everything that terminal could give him.
No, I meant the one upstairs, the big ones.
No, he failed every check up there. That's why when you were like, I'm going to do this and this and this, I'm like, he's already tried all of that and failed every roll.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Do we want to go try? They got terminals in the big room, right?
there are.
These stasis pods, they have to require power somehow, right?
Yep, they have battery packs on them.
If we cut power to them, the things inside will just die. A slow, agonizing death. They pop out,
No, it'll turn the stasis off.
so they'll pop out.
Most likely, yes.
There are two rooms upstairs that we haven't even looked at yet.
Do you want to load up one of these stasis pads?
Take it with us.
Yeah, and take one with us.
So what? We have proof.
And we could try to engineer something.
To communicate with a cybernetically enhanced next to.
Yeah, you've got your kitty. I'm gonna have my kitty.
Hey, do you think so? There's 5 of them here. Do you think like there's like a secret code you can hit, and then the 5 of them come together to be one?
And we get inside of it and we ride it, and then we can kaiju fight big monsters.
It's Nextron.
Nextron. We're having this discussion as the turbo lift is going up.
Okay, you go back upstairs.
Yeah.
Poor security guard is still in stasis with fucking next to you.
Poor Kevin.
That's gonna keep him.
And next to in the stasis pod, he he wakes up loving Kevin, but he doesn't know why.
He wakes up thinking, oh, a snack!
Yes. They put it in here with me.
He does love Kevin to death.
What nice you guys.
Tastes great. Ding!
Yeah, let's go check out the one room we haven't been to.
Where the guy's still alive inside.
With a shotgun pointed at the door.
You had a conversation with this guy, right?
I mean, the door's nameplate says galley. So, take that for what you want.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably
man.
won't be getting information out of this.
What about the other one? The one where the...
This door says hangar.
How's there a hangar underground? Is this door open?
Sure. There's a giant tunnel that leads to the surface.
Oh shit.
All right,
Hey, let's get a list of people that have come in here and landed.
I'm gonna knock on the door again.
Hookers, give me a perception check. 2 purple.
I'm gonna knock on the door again.
Okay.
Who is it?
This guy's gonna be like, I told you, go away. Actually, no. Hold on. Let me roll the dice, because you guys left and went downstairs. He might have left. A triumph and a despair. Okay, so as you guys are coming back to the galley, you notice that the door is open. Unfortunately, the cycler rifle guy, he couldn't get the elevator to do what he wanted, so like he started to climb it. And when you guys brought the turbo lift back up, you found a all damaged, neck broken security guard. And
Like a thump as we go up.
yeah, like
Squishy body. He almost made it. He was like on the last step when he slipped.
yep.
That's the Wilhelm scream.
So now the galley's open. You can go in there. Did you pass that perception check, Hookers?
Yeah.
Okay. You hear beeping coming from the fuel canisters next to all the other stuff over here.
Like bomb beeping?
Is there another kind?
It's
Bomb! I don't even know which way to run. Up the tunnel, down the tunnel?
We should
Did you get
probably...
the information from that starport terminal?
No, I heard beeping and ran. Oh, I don't know. Could I roll some kind of will check to... Nope, I wouldn't have done it. I would have run. I got no will.
Those Mandalorians are better at this job than I am.
Did,
I don't
did he,
have
did
explosives.
he say bomb?
Yeah, he said bomb. We should go.
We should probably go.
Yeah.
Where's Hookers?
Do you guys hit the button and go up?
Wait. I'm gonna see if I can slave my data pad to one of these scout droids.
It is incredibly unlikely you're going to be able to do that. Are you sure you want to try?
I thought maybe it'd have the command save, so no, I won't try.
You got a dog, though.
Yeah, I got a dog. I should be happy.
Using them as a backpack.
The puppy pet.
He caught a grenade.
It's just a stun grenade. He's fine.
So the
That place was weird.
turbo lift makes it almost all the way to the top before there's like a earth-shattering explosion beneath you. But the turbo lift still works and puts you out on the top. And while it was pretty dramatic at first, the more you think about it, the more you're like, that probably didn't blow up the whole facility.
Right.
That was probably just that was probably just meant to cover up the tracks of the Mandalorians who left.
Yeah. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah, they still got my comlink too.
I hope they call us.
Just to make sure.
You could have told us there was a bomb.
Well,
Yeah, we need to get back to town. We need to slice this together. How do you slice this together? It's a tough story to tell. Killed a bunch of
this one
people.
stays. Yeah,
just doing their
stays
job.
off record.
Well, we also need to expose ICOR 4 for doing ridiculous things.
I think it's hilarious that that's y'all's end goal.
Oh,
It makes me happy.
hey, isn't
I feel like
isn't-
ICOR 4 has been out of business for.
that's what I was about to say. I was like, isn't ICOR 4 like the decades ago? They don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Who are we exposing?
The new
I
guy.
don't- The collector.
Okay, that makes sense.
It would make sense to try to find some stuff on the collector, because
But you haven't found anything on him.
We found one of his facilities.
I found an account number.
Yeah.
we actually got an account number. Or did he actually give us the account number or not?
Oh, we're gonna have to go back down there to unthaw him.
For successes and 2 threats said that he gave you his personal account number. Whatever good that will do.
Alright, so we do have an account number, but we also have the collector as a just generic name for somebody.
Well, if
How
the Mandalorians do get in contact with us, we
How
can
much
ask
money's
them
in his account?
in the guard's account.
Yeah, he gives an account number, and he's not going to be using it for a while. So how much money's in there?
You're going to have to go slice it and find out.
All right, we'll get that done.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a card in a second.
Let's head back to civilization then.
Like I know we got some Nexu, we definitely didn't solve the full Nexu problem though.
Probably it's crikey.
Bag a bunch.
Crikey.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. Plus, we gotta kick that guy in the nuts. That Moncal Rural Justice.
He's got to pay us first, though, right?
He does owe you guys some credits.
Yeah.
You're going to want to collect that before you kick him in the
Get the
jungle.
money. Then we gotta find the lady Sil Mava, who the person Royal sent out first loves. I take last will and respect seriously.
Okay, so you guys are going to hike back to your transport? You're not taking anything else from this site?
I'm taking all the dead body Nexus that we had,
Okay.
or at least a tag of them, so that we can prove to everybody.
Outside of the video evidence?
Yeah, I mean the video evidence is all fine and good, but some of the video evidence we can't show them.
I'm gonna. Can I carry the droid?
Yeah. Well, I mean, between the group, you guys could carry the droid. It's damaged, but it's repairable.
We need a butler.
Do we?
I mean, all good sitcoms have a butler, right?
Good
Okay.
things coming from taking the droid, so
This group is clearly a sitcom.
Yeah. We could just sell the droid chassis and make a little bit of money.
Do that too if you wanted.
We're still gonna be making it through a active Nexus zone, so if you guys want to carry a droid, that's up to you. It's gonna be dangerous.
Oh, we gotta climb across that dilapidated bridge too.
Yeah, it's broken too.
yeah. Is there another place to cross the stream, or
Yeah, I'm gonna swim across like I did the first time.
You guys could try to cross the pond. You guys could try to fix this speeder well enough to turn it into a raft.
Oh yeah, I like that idea. And boat us across.
Okay, the droid is now fixed.
Need to weld some things through those Nexu claw holes.
So you get the speeder working well enough to work as a raft, and you can ferry things across the pond if you want. Doesn't have any engines, but you can use like long sticks to push it.
alright, are we gonna keep most of us here and send 1 or 2 people to go get the transport?
Nah, travel as a pack. We got it.
Okay. Let me just roll something real quick.
Goodbye, Dane. No, just kidding.
Something just dragged them in, and we're like, well, we'll have to get another accountant now.
So
Notice.
two Nexu do start stalking you guys. The hunters of the pack would see them pretty early on. They're sticking to the high grass, but they're pacing alongside the party as you're making your way back.
Making our way downtown. Walk fast. Next to you in the tall grass.
Are you guys gonna...
Yeah, we can still hunt them. Let me get a good spot.
I didn't mean to grab that.
I'd like to prepare the shotgun in advance.
Okay. Who has long-range weaponry?
Hookers.
Does Crikey have long-range weaponry?
I don't know if it is long. Let me double check. It's one word. Nope.
Medium.
Medium.
Well, sounds like the only one who can take the shot is Mr. Kizik.
Yeah, I took 2 steps back while you guys kept walking along, watching them still sniping you or watching them chase after you. Then you hear, oh no, I can't cock it. It's real close. I put it in real gentle. And then 2 purple because it's just long range.
Uh-huh. Nice. How much is that?
That's a crit and 10 damage, pierce 3.
Okay. So you completely brain one and the other one runs off. There's a dead Nexu carcass you guys can grab now if you want.
Yeah. Doggy's gonna need some food soon.
And you guys will make it the rest of the way back to your transport without any issue.
Nice.
Quite an adventure you've had so far.
We head on back home.
Quite get all of it.
We're gonna need a bigger space. I'm pretty sure we brought some animal home every trip.
That is a thing you're doing. And there in bigger space was almost built into your plan here. So it's a pretty long drive. You guys are all exhausted. But you do make it back.
We do make it back.
Now, is there anyone or anything you want to do here on this map before you go to your house?
Yeah, we were supposed to meet somebody, weren't we, Hook?
Yeah, the Moncow guy. Rural.
You guys find him talking to Grin again. Grin is the local slicer, one of the local slicers that you can talk to. He'll skim credits off of a card for 300 credits, flat rate.
Oh. Bro. Hey, buddy.
No, Rural's the guy. Yeah, hey, so we, that Nexu problem?
Just plop down a bunch of Nexu heads.
Yeah, we took care of some of them. Here you go.
Rural is actually out here by the slicer.
Oh, I thought he was inside.
That's fantastic. I appreciate you guys taking care of that. Believe the agreed upon sum was 5K.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks for having that. Who's the last guy you sent there? Because we found their dead body.
Ah, that's a shame. I do hate it when things like that don't work out. But that's one of the reasons that I offered the reward for the task being done and not the attempts to do it.
Yeah. He left the last will and testament saying that you might not have told him everything that he was doing.
Rural looks at you and he's like, okay. Do you have a point, Mr. Hookers?
I kick him in the dick.
I need this card done.
That's not the same guy.
That's the other guy. You're good. I kick him in the dick as hard as I can, like lift him off the ground.
I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. His nads crunch very satisfyingly under your foot, and he gets air as he falls backwards, wailing and crying as his.
I help him back up. I'm like, they're there. It was his last dying wish. If we had to do it, you understand.
He's like, you bastards.
I was like, you deserve it. All right, you earned that. You shouldn't do that to people. I help him back up.
Now, Grin, not a slicing thing here, but can you trace payments on this account?
Yeah, and unlock it so that we can have the money.
Yeah.
Grin's he's a techno union. I can't remember what the name of his race is. But he basically is like, this sounds like you're trying to track some people down, and as a rule, I don't participate in that kind of activity. It's not good for your longevity. But if you pay me my 300 credit skim rate, I will tell you about a skip tracer I know who does that kind of work specifically.
Here you go.
So you hand him 300 credits, and he says, inside the bar, there'll be a man dealing with Jeb and Koth. His name is Kyle. He's a cybernetic human. He is a authorized skip tracer for the Bounty Hunters Guild, and he tracks people down, usually through digital means.
Thank you so much. How much money was in that account? Or do you need another 300?
He didn't skim it. He just asked for his fee to give you the info.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay the fee to get him to do the card.
He's not going to want to touch his card after you told him that about it. Like, he's legitimately like, I don't touch that. That's hot shit. Like, you're going to track somebody down. Don't want to be any part of it. Someone's going to get killed. I don't want it to be me.
All
right. Thanks again.
Yeah. All right. You guys want to go to the bar? Talk to any. Also, there's now a cantina job board for the bar. Don't everybody talk at once.
Oh, this is the job part. Okay, yeah. I see.
So that's the job board.
Nice.
Not all of it's actually relevant. Some of it's just fluff, but there are some good stuffs in there. And who's doing what?
First I need to get a drink.
Wookie for good time. I'm gonna respond to this ad. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, give me the Remy accent, but female.
Oh God, no.
Oh no.
he can't do it.
Where does female Remy come from? Female Remy has more rasp. Yes, he's female Remy. He's very deep. I have extra hairs just for your lovings.
Oh boy.
Hey, can I have my cut of the what we just took in?
I put the credits down. I don't know what happened to them.
Yeah. Here's 833 credits.
Do we all get that?
Yeah, I'm splitting it up right now.
Ah, nice.
He's going to an ATM, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I've got cash right now.
Mm-hmm.
I hope there's an ATM at the bar.
I mean, there's one around. There's always one around. So is anyone going to talk to this new gentleman?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a drink from my buddy Cat.
Jen?
Jen?
No.
Oh, she's a Catharian bartender.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Jen. I know Jen. It's too quick looking at her.
Right, so yeah, we'll get some libations.
Yep.
And head on over and
Okay.
talk to this guy, Kyle.
Koth and Jeb are engaged in their usual lively repertoire, and Kyle's been hanging out with them. He's the quiet one of the group. But you can tell by his attire that he's some sort of technical, probably slicer person.
Evening, gents. How you doing tonight?
Hey, gentlemen, how you doing? Koth is exceptionally inebriated. At least appears to be so.
I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I had a gentleman outside. He told us that Kyle might be able to help with a technical job. Kyle, if you are interested in making some quick cash, I have some questions that we could discuss over there in the in our corner. I don't know if you know us. We're kind of local. But yeah, if you're interested in a job, we'd love to talk to you over there.
Alright. I'm always interested in a little bit of work. Honest work.
Yeah, honest.
So Kyle comes over and he's like, I'm assuming that this is some sort of slicing job?
Yes, of course. I get it from, good authority that you're the man around town to do it. I've got this banking card, see, and we picked it up in a organization of sorts. We're trying to figure out who paid the account, to this gentleman, to this card.
Do you know what banking facility it comes from?
It's a clan reserve card.
Banking clan, huh? Those are pretty secure. I might be able to get you the data you need. You just need to know who paid into the account.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this in reference to a bounty hunter guild sanctioned bounty?
Sure is.
Alright, well my usual rate's 20% of your take. And you'll need to go ahead and show me the puck so I can scan it and get all the info and, do my skip tracer thing.
Right. Hook, give him the puck. You have the puck, don't you, Hook?
Oh no,
Come
We
on,
left-
man, not again.
I
Really?
mean, I'm sorry. I'm normally the guy that does the drinks. I might have. Is that back at the house? Where do
I'm looking
we?
at Kyle apologetically. I'm like, Kyle, we obviously can't do this right now, and I appreciate your time. Maybe I'll get you when we get the puck.
So he gives you a knowing smirk and he's like, yeah, if you want to give me business, you just let me know.
I can't believe you forgot the puck, Hook.
Yeah, man, it's really tough to find that puck for a thing that we don't even have. Are you kidding me?
Hey, Chris, can I trade in this hunting blaster for some money so I can afford that chem harness?
Sure. Most places around here are going to buy for 75% value.
That's more than I expected. So I get 75% of 900 is 450 plus 225, 675. I only needed 400, so I get 275 back.
Right, so this is big. Real big. It's obviously some collector guy. He's making creatures. He's been doing it for years. He's been selling them. He's been using this planet. It all's just crazy.
Yeah, that guy also, he would have done whatever we wanted. He just wanted it to be legal. I don't know if we would have asked him if he had a thing that he wanted us to do, if he would then do us a favor for doing him a favor.
See, that's where I brought you over, but I kind of panicked when he asked me for a puck.
Yeah, I did too, because I didn't. I think it's no. I still don't have it. Come on. Yeah, so we should go ask him if he has any favors that a couple of hunters are real good at doing. Because bounty hunting and hunting, it's just different, right? Calling back
It's
over.
a little different, maybe. I mean, I've taken on some nasty creatures, but I'm always surprised at the sentient and sapient. They can be doubly nasty, downright evil.
Yeah, which is what we're trying to stop.
Yeah, this evil fuck is making creatures into something they're not. I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah, how is he profiting off of that?
I mean, he's selling them to, like, mercenary crews and Mandalorians and such.
Or is he like using them in one of the bigger towns and like arenas?
I mean, maybe, but let's be real. I mean, if you make a weapon, you sell a weapon. You don't just let the weapon loose and let it do its own thing.
No, like if I don't even know what's in the bigger cities. Maybe they have like a pit where I say, "Hey, for $500, I'll get in there and I'll punch that cybernetically enhanced next to right in the face." And people watch and pay a lot of money. Like see, where's Dane? Dane's the guy who knows how to make money. I just wanted to have a fun time and film a show.
I thought you wanted to get your pickle place.
Oh yeah, my bar too.
All right.
Yeah, so let's talk to let's see if Kyle is looking for any help doing things. Hey Kyle!
He like leans over and tips his drink at you. Like,
Hey, I think I found it. Come on.
all right, he comes on over. He's like, "Did you now?" Because
Yeah.
it sounded like you didn't have one.
No. I thought it was in this pocket, but it was in this pocket. You know how like that one hand likes to help the other hand, and if everybody's doing each other's just favors, then that's how the whole world works. You know what I'm saying?
He's outright laughing at you. Very clever. He's like, you could just pay me, right?
Yeah, so I go to hand him the puck in quotes, and it's 300 in solid credits.
300 for that job, huh?
Well, you said also you get 20% of the take.
Yeah, off a legit bounty.
Yeah. So this is just the down payment. Like we got to figure out where this leads us. This is big stuff. And then I reach into my pocket and I pull out another 500 and say, "Oh no! There's the buck." That's what he was looking for. It's in the other pocket.
All right. You just need to know what account was dropping money into this account.
Well, we're trying to find the employer of this gentleman.
Like, all right, so first and foremost, there's 3,200 credits-ish inside the account. So it's not a fortune. Secondly, the Onderonian Nature Preserve Society is the institution that's been paying this card. And he taps a few more things on his data pad and kind of stares for a minute, and he's like, and that's blatantly a shell corporation.
Yeah, blatantly. And the idea is where it goes from here.
You're going to have to bring me some other form of... You're going to have to bring me something else from them if you want me to go any further than that, because it kind of dead ends there off this card. I would need some sort of access to that corporation, that shell company's data, in order to go any further.
Oh, like Gar's tablet?
I don't know who Gar is or what tablet you're talking about. You mean datapad?
Yeah, the data pad.
Also, that didn't come, metagame, like, that did not come from anyone even remotely related to what you're trying to do there. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, talking about data pads. I had the worst virus I've ever seen on one. I was so mad I just chucked it into the lake.
Oh. I mean, I can usually fix that. Also, if it's a good virus I could replicate, I pay a bounty for any good malware you can find. Sometimes it's useful.
Yeah, sometimes you just get mad at the computers.
Alright, well, let me know if you guys find anything else you need me to slice things. We can do this for credits, or you can trade favors. I wouldn't go around telling people that you're part of the Bounty Hunter Guild when you're obviously not. That's my free bit of advice. And he toasts his drink up and he's like, have a good day, gentlemen.
Oh man, I was gonna ask him if he knew about the bounty on our buddy.
I don't know that would be wise, but you can do it if you want.
No, I didn't do it. He walked away. He cheered us.
There's $50,000 just sitting over here.
Well, he's clearly not very good at it. I was gonna ask him if he can make it disappear, but it's probably gonna cost more than $50,000. We don't got that.
I don't know if that's his bounty number.
I think it's pretty big. He's getting chased by a couple of different people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got to find more about this Anderonian Nature Preserve. We need to...
The problem here, mate, is Anderonian Nature Preserve is a shell corp. I mean, there could be hundreds of corporations that this guy owns. And it'd be hell to track it all down.
But if we found one, like, that's one our leave. If we... Like, it's got to have an actual place, and if it's got yeah, with this, you make a good point.
I mean, I'm tracking. We could do some research, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be some lawyer and some PO box that's like listed ultimately for this place, and we're not going to be able to track somebody down. It's just going to be ghosts.
Yeah.
I'm a hunter, but not the data miner or data hunter.
Yeah. Do you see the thing over there? It says there's a noble seeking a guide for a Nexu safari.
Huh.
We know where there's some Nexu.
Yeah, it's true.
So while they're goofing around doing this stuff, I'm outfitting my my dog, who I've named Gore, with the chemical harness, and I'm trying to get him to sit.
Okay. You know, the chemical harness is only meant as a temporary restraint, right?
Yeah, it's like it helps you get a handle on them while they're crazy.
Yes.
It's not permanent.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, permanently it would kill them.
Yes.
It would be permanent.
That is pretty permanent. Okay. We want to go back to the main facility, or we want to leave it here on the commons area?
We can leave it here, but I wouldn't do it in the street.
Give me a survival check while they're sorting out all the mystery and mayhem.
3 purple.
With the chemical harness, I think you get a bonus, right? Don't you? Or does it just allow you to do it?
Mounting the harness on a creature requires a hard survival check, and then after that, you can reduce the difficulty by a successful knowledge check.
Okay.
And then it grants 2 blues to survival checks made to control the beast.
Okay. So what I think you should do first is roll your knowledge check. See if you can reduce the difficulty.
What is the difficulty of that one? It doesn't say that.
It's probably based on the rank of the creature. I'm going to go ahead and call it red and a purple.
Get a boost because it's unconscious. I can poke and prod it.
I'll give you a boost because you can look on the holonet and figure out things about it. Okay. Well, you didn't reduce the difficulty, but you can still try your survival check. It'll be 1 red, 2 purples.
it's supposed to be 3 purple. To put the
Oh, you're just putting the harness on.
yeah, you got to put the harness on.
Sorry, I thought you were taming it. Yes, it's 3 purples to put the harness on. I skipped the part where you were taming it. Okay, well,
It successfully has a harness.
yeah. Now you can make your other survival check. All right. So the next check will be 1 step lower until you finally get it tamed. All right. So we're gonna need time to do that though. Argon. Anyone else who hadn't done anything? We're at the end of the night. Is there anything you guys would like to take care of? Dane?
No, not here. I just listening to my buds over there trying to sell me out for my bounty. But anyway.
Did it?
$1,000, man. You can't blame him for that.
No. Well, there's a couple other things. Like he's like, I want him to make the bounty go away, and I wanted to be like, you should definitely go read the bounty hunter code thing. Converse.
Just a bartender. It's just fine.
Is there any math that I need to do, or
Is there any math that you do? I think the money's already gotten divvied up. Got paid in cash for that job, so I think you guys are probably good.
okay?
Yeah.
Nothing new on the black card. All right, that works.
The black card has an extra 833 credits.
Oh, that's all. 833.
You already
Oh,
you already put it on.
133.
You already do the black card, or is he doing it now?
He has it. He's got it locked away. I can't touch the monies.
Ah, smart man.
All right, so I get an extra 833.
So, Argon, you do have some leads on your buddies. Maybe you want to convince your buddies to help you pursue saving your friends.
Absolutely. I think we need to go do it.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, we're at the end of this night. Maybe think of an inspiring, like, Independence Day style speech. It makes your buddies want to come with you and storm the ramparts and save your friends.
Alternatively, you could pay us.
Yee.
Anyway, that's
Your friends aren't that, friendly.
gonna be for next time.
Sounds like my current friends are having some problems too.
I'll do it for free.
There you go.
I just want the speech.
Because you're
Alright,
here,
I'll have to come up
I'm
with
gonna
something.
need some money.
I didn't do that.
I did it.